pretty fed up with it today. You know, like usually I will just kind of allow this to like continue, and I'll just fight through it, and I'll just deal with trolls for an hour. I'm not gonna do it today. If we don't get somebody up here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm just gonna take the day off. You know, we've only been live for around 30 minutes now, and for the first 30 minutes, we haven't been able to get anybody up in here. If we don't get somebody up in here in the next five, I'm gonna take the day off. You know, it's just this has been happening like every day for like the last couple months. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna be honest. Like I seriously, I can't do it anymore. So either like something really needs to change, or like this is just not something that I'm gonna do. You know, because like I no longer like start these streams like happy and excited. I start these streams with like super anxious and like upset already because I know about all the trolls that I'm gonna have to deal with. Welcome, Emma. Do you sport Trump?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a child. Like Emma, after everything that I just said, it's like. Okay, moving on to Caleb. Everyone, just give us a minute. Tina, I appreciate you for that galaxy. That's very kind of you. What's up, notification? You sport Trump? Okay, another kid. Nice. That's another kid. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Just give us a minute, too. Try to get that next guest loaded up in here. What's going on, brother? You sport Trump?
I don't, but my parents do, and
Moving on to the next guest. We got 6'7" Mango loading up in the box. Everyone, just give us a minute to get that next guest connected to the stream. Yeah, I'm really close to just ending for the day. I'm really close to just taking the day off.
Dean, you want a real debate?
You're a kid.
Okay, listen.
Yeah, I'm really close to just taking the day off, guys. I'm on the edge. I'm on the edge of just ending. We're right there, guys. We're right there. Like, I'm not gonna lie. We are like right there, everybody. Yeah, I don't want to do this today. So please follow the rules. You know, if you guys don't, I'm just gonna take the day off. I don't know why. I just can't do it. I don't know why I just can't do it today. I don't want to put up with this stuff today. What's going on, Dustin? Do you sport Trump? Okay. All right, that was a troll too. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute here, y'all. So we can get that next guest loaded into the live. Make sure if you're in that queue that you sport Trump. What's up? Do you sport Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
20.
All right, take it away. Why the hell do you support Trump as president?
All right, I'll give you a few reasons why I support Trump. The first one, I support Trump because Kamala is a stinky and.
All right, moving on to the next guest, everyone. Just give us a minute to get that next guest loaded up into the box, everyone. We got Anne-Marie loading up in here, y'all. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And what year were you born in?
2007, July.
Great. Quickly before we hop into the debate, Annie, thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. I appreciate you for that love, Annie. Let's show some love to Annie down below. Let's get 500 Annie W's. Annie says, I think that you should start blocking trolls and children, even the friendlies. If that doesn't work, then I completely get why you'd focus on non-debate content. Yeah, you know, like, I don't know. If this is like the trajectory that the streams continue, I'll just start focusing on like in-person debates. And then all my content will become like feed content, long form YouTube videos, and we'll just stop doing the live streams. But Annie, I really appreciate you for the $50. You have a really good point there. I do believe that is what I will start doing. So thank you so much, Annie. Now we're going to go to refocus you. How do I pronounce your name?
Amory.
Okay, well, Amory, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Well, I just, one, I don't think that immigrants who cut the corners to get here should take the place of jobs for Americans who work hard and need the money to support their families. I feel like maybe we could work on making the immigration system better where people can come in a little easier. So it's not a 10 to 15 year process. But I feel like if you come here illegally, which is a crime in the US, that you should not be here and take that away from other people.
Okay, so you're just really tough on like law and order. You think if you're a criminal, like, okay. All right, I have a question. So about like the legal means of entering to the country, if there was like an immigrant that was like, I don't know, he was found guilty of 34 felonies and held civilly liable for the essay of a woman. If they were trying to legally immigrate into this country and Border Patrol found out these facts, do you think that they should be allowed entry or denied entry and turned around?
Well, denied entry because they have a past history of criminality.
Okay. So you shouldn't be able to become a citizen if you're found guilty of 34 felonies and held liable for essay, but you should be able to become president if you're found guilty of 34 felonies and held liable for SA. Why is that? That sounds quite hypocritical to me.
Well, as far as the 34 felonies, a lot of them were really just bad bookkeeping, and I feel like if we learn how to bookkeep better, that's a little different. As far as the SA, are you referring to the one with the woman who had a history in the sex industry, or is this a different woman?
Well, I mean, I think it's so hilarious that you just get all the cases confused, so you don't really know what's going on. So the woman that had a history in the sex industry, that would be Stormy Daniels, and she was actually involved with the 34 felonies because it wasn't merely,
Okay.
the misclassification of business documentation, but it was signing checks and sending them to Stormy Daniels to be quiet about the fact that Trump had cheated on Melania with her prior to the 2016 election, and then they falsely labeled them as business payments, which led to the 34 felonies. Now, about your first statement saying like, oh, well, the 34 felonies were victimless, they're not too big of a deal. Well, did you know that undocumented entry into this country is victimless, and it's actually a lower legal classification than the felonies because it's a criminal misdemeanor, not a criminal felony?
Yeah, I think honestly.
Yeah, she left everybody. I didn't kick her. I didn't remove her. I didn't like touch her. She left on her own. So mid breath there, while she was in the middle of her sentence, she hit the road running. Everybody. So let's go to move on to the next guest for the 11.4 thousand people joining us in here at TikTok. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for being here. If you support Trump and you think you could out debate me, quite frankly, and tell me why you support the president, hop in the queue, spam mag in that chat, and Tina, appreciate you for that galaxy. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Austin, quickly before we hop into the debate, there's a couple people I'd like to thank here. First and foremost, Miss Erica, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo, saying, as much as we don't want you to go, fuck this shit, so sorry that you're dealing with so many trolls, go do something enjoyable. Well, that's the plan, but it seems like we actually got some debates rolling here. So, Erica, I appreciate you for the $15. Everybody watching, show some love to Erica. And then Bree with the $10 over on Venmo, and Janessa with the 20. Thank you so much for the love, Bree and Janessa. Thank you guys so much. And don't worry, Janessa, it doesn't look like we will be doing that. The guest that we had on Austin left while we were thanking the donors. I guess he had a little bit of a last-second stage fright. But Janessa and Bree, you guys are awesome. While we're looking for that next Trump supporter to come up here and have a debate with us, show some love to Janessa and Bree down below in that comment section. And if you're considering hopping in that queue, go ahead and take a look at the rules on screen. Make sure that you're following them. We're only going to be letting people up that are following the rules. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you?
Well, I'm
Thank you,
19,
Galaxy. And what
but
year were you
it's
born
sort
in?
of like in between because my
What year were you born in?
opinion on him has definitely changed.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. We got Alex loaded up in, as well as Anne. Thank you so much for the $10 over at PayPal saying that, are you sick? You sound stuffy, bro. It's just allergies. So I'm in Colorado. We have some massive wildfires here right now. And all this smoke.
Jesus is king.
Then all the smoke created from the fires is really stuffing up my nose. Guys, go to Put a Maga with your age down below that chat. We're looking for that next Trump supporter. Let's see if there's literally one Trump supporter out of the 10,000 people watching that's willing to come up here and debate. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yep.
Okay, and how old are you?
18.
Cool. Before we hop into a debate, Anonymous, thank you so much for the $200 donation over on PayPal. That is a huge donation. Thank you so much. I do not deserve a penny of that. Let's see 2,000 Anon W's down below in that chat. They say, thank you for supporting LGBTQ plus rights. Thank you for renewing my faith in humanity and restoring my sanity. I hope that you're doing super duper good today. I hope that you're enjoying this stream. And thank you so much for the love. That is so much money, Anon. Seriously, thank you so much. Show some love to Anon down below while we let Brian take the mic and tell us why the hell he still supports the orange fascist, Donald J. Trump as president. Take it away.
So his mass deportation plan is just, it's good. So it's better than anything Kamala has ever done.
Okay. Got it. So why do you agree with mass deportation?
If you commit a crime, like entering the country illegally, you shouldn't be allowed to stay unless, even if you have a plan to get citizenship.
Okay. I think I'm just going to ask you the same question I asked the last guest that caused them to leave. You're like, oh, if you committed a misdemeanor, fuck you, you shouldn't be able to become a citizen. But if you commit 34 felonies and you're held liable for rape, you should be able to run the country. I want you to answer to that hypocrisy. Now, this is the question that I asked the last guest that caused them to leave. Are you going to leave, or do you think you could answer to that hypocrisy?
I don't really got an answer, but
Okay, well, if you don't have an answer, then that means that you should probably treat these things similarly. If not, you should treat Donald Trump's 34 felony convictions more harsh than you would treat the misdemeanors, because legally speaking, they're worse. But you don't, right? So I don't know. I don't really believe you when you tell me if you committed one simple misdemeanor and you're actively making this country better because undocumented immigrants are positive contributors to the American economy that pay in $100 billion per year in taxes and contribute $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion per year in GDP growth. They need to leave. But if you're a president and you're actively harming this country by ripping 10 million people off of healthcare, 3 million people off of food stamps, disenfranchising women's rights, et cetera, even if you're a 34 count felon adjudicated rapist, you should be able to stay in the Oval Office.
Well, you say illegal immigrants are good for the country, but if they're taking a actual citizen's job, then what are they like? Why are they good?
Bro, they create jobs. What do you think economic productivity does for the labor force? It makes it larger because there's more opportunities to create. Like, think about it. They make our manufacturers more productive, and they enable them to produce more goods because, well, 8.3 million of them work. And then they consume more of those goods because when you work, you get paid. Then you have to spend that money on goods to live. And they don't qualify for federal social safety nets where the government will help pay it for them. So they spend their own money on goods produced by those American companies, increasing the value of those American companies, increasing the sales of those American companies, increasing the revenue of those American companies, and increasing the demand for more jobs.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, he left too, everybody. Chat, let me tell you, the debates today are just going quick. It's every single person that is joining is just getting like, dude, do I need to tone it down a little bit? Do I need to go a little easier on these people? It's every single person that we've debated today has made an argument, listened to my response, and then left. Every single one. Like, dude. Like, where are the Trump supporters at that think that you have a leg to stand on here? Because this does not make MAGA look good. And for all of my undecided voters out there, for all of my moderates, and for even, some of the people out there that are leaning to the right, I hope the fact that, seriously, we haven't even heard a counter argument yet, and we've been streaming for an hour proves to you that maybe MAGA is not the right way. Now, welcome in, Mongrel. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
18.
I don't believe you for a second. Hop on out of here. Moving on to the next guest, we got Lee joining up in here, guys. In the meantime, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. Take a good look at the top left-hand corner. You'll see that we're nearly at 1 million likes. Let's try to get there. And while we are getting there, let's go ahead and throw the rules back up on stream. If you're hopping to the queue, make sure that you're following them. Welcome in, Jess. Are you MAGA?
Just say y'all are fucking racist talking about immigrants, bro. Just say y'all are racist.
I feel like she's not MAGA. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Follow the rules, please. In fact, mods, ban them. You know what? We're going to start doing that. Unfortunately, we are going to start banning every single person that comes up here that's not following the rules, even though that she ate, because we have to be tough as fuck. So less people will break the rules. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 20.
All right, man. We're the same age. That's crazy. Well, I'm going to let you take it away quickly before I do. Aaron, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. And Melissa with a 10 saying, I'm sorry that you're having a hard time. I think that things are okay now. Thank you, Melissa and Aaron. Everybody watching, show some love to Melissa and Aaron. And Mr. DJ, why the hell do you support Trump? Take it away.
Because of T. I don't like the T people in men's sports.
Ah, okay. I got it. So how many trans women compete in the NCAA?
Too many.
10, right?
Yeah.
So is your position
That's too many.
that you want to make life harder for 10 people, even if it is at the expense of making life worse for the other 300
It's going to
million
get worse and
Americans?
worse over the years if we don't stop it now. So, yeah.
Okay. So do you care about women's rights?
That's how things happen,
Okay, so you care
What?
about women's rights, and this is why you want to take trans women out of women's sports because you think
Obviously,
that's infringing on
yes.
women's rights?
Of course, I care about their rights so much,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So imagine it's not even like a trans woman. It's like a cis man like you or I playing in a women's sports, or even worse, walking into a women's restroom, or even worse, walking into a women's changing room where there's naked teens. How would that make you feel?
What?
Did
I
you
don't
not-
understand the question.
I'll repeat the question. So you're telling me that you're just a huge Vicor for women's rights. Like, you are a true Deontic boss where you do not care about the consequences of your position as long as there's less quote-unquote men, people that you think are men, infringing upon women's rights. You're willing to do whatever to make it stop, even if it's throwing the country out of the window. So if there's like a man, like a cis man like you or I, that is walking into women's changing rooms and perving on the kids in there that are naked, how would that make you feel?
Who did that?
Anybody that's done that, how would that make you feel?
Not good.
Not good. And because you're such like a true Christ for women's rights, imagine that, this man boasted about perving on naked women and naked teenage girls in their dressing rooms and then ran for president. You would never vote for them in a million years because you care about women's rights so much, right?
Yeah.
Even if it was Trump?
What did Trump do?
It's not. It's a question. Hypothetically,
Well,
even
well,
if
you
it was
asked
Trump
me,
that has
even
done
if it
these
was
things, would
Trump,
you still support
and
Trump?
There has to be some type of context behind it. I can't just blindly, answer yes or no, then go with whatever you say.
No, it's just a hypothetical. Like, he didn't do this. He's a good guy. You just told us that you never support a man running for the presidency that is like boasted about perving on naked teenage girls and grown adult women in their dressing rooms while they're naked. I just want to make sure that you're not like a partisan hack here. Even if it was Trump, like hypothetically, if Trump had boasted about perving on naked teenage girls
wouldn't
and grown
like
adult
it.
women in their changing rooms, would you still support him as president?
No, I wouldn't like it, but comparing to who else I'd have to vote for, you'd have to make some considerations. But
So at the end of the day, make your considerations. Would this be a red line you'd hold against Trump?
like I don't like it, so like in that sense, yeah. But like he's already the president, so it's kind of irrelevant.
Okay, it's actually incredibly relevant.
And did he
because
get
the
charged
question
for
isn't,
any of this? Like,
would
did
you
he
vote
get
for
like
him?
for the
The question
for
would
the
be,
preying on
would
for
you
the
still
preying on-
support
no,
him?
I have a question for the preying on young
You
women.
could
Did
ask
he get
me.
like charged?
You could ask me
Did
your
he get
question.
charged with that?
You could ask me your questions after we get a clear answer from you. I just say yes or no. Would you still support Trump as president? Would you still be MAGA if you knew with certainty that Trump had perved on naked grown adult women and naked teenage girls, underage minors, while they're undressed and naked in a women's only space that he walked into without consent?
No. I just said no. You said yes or no question. I answered no. Do you even know what you just asked me? Repeat your question. I don't know why you're smiling.
No, bro, you already gave us the answer. We're gonna go ahead and roll the clip.
Yeah, I said no. I wouldn't support him.
I feel like you're lying. I feel like you would.
I don't. You're trying to get like a gotcha moment. I don't understand. Like I just told you no. Like, and you're just sitting there smiling.
Say no again. Answer the question with a no again. Just do it real quick.
No.
All right, buddy. No takesy backsies.
Okay.
Conflict?
Yes.
I don't see it as a
It
conflict.
could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell me
I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
I usually say something at this point, but goddamn, you're cooked. Like, you reaffirmed your answer to the question with a no 5 times.
Well, I have a question. What does this have to do with why I said I support him to be president?
Yeah, because seemingly now you don't.
Yeah, but this is no. You asked me a specific question. If it was just this that I had to hold against him, and this is all I knew, then no, I wouldn't vote for him. Obviously.
Okay, so
But
you
there are
don't
other
support him as
things we-
president?
But there are other things that go into it.
Oh, but I thought that you calculated those other things when you ultimately told me that this would be a red line that you hold against Trump. Why are you backpedaling, sir?
I am holding it against him, but I'm not holding it against him in the sense that I wouldn't vote for him.
But you
understand that?
actually just told us specifically, if Donald Trump had done this, you would stop supporting him. You would revoke your support. You would no longer be MAGA. You said, yes, Dean, I would stop supporting him. No, Dean, I would not continue to support him. And then I even called you out on your bullshit. I was like, come on, buddy. I know you. You're a cult
All right, right,
but you
calm
will
down. I
continue
have
to
no
support him.
bullshit. This is
This is
my
the
support.
BS. This is the BS. You gave us a very clear answer. You said that you would stop supporting Donald Trump if you knew that this is something that Donald Trump had done. Stop changing the story. Stop backwalking. I think it's backpedaling. I think it's time
Yeah,
for you to
this was
address
so bad.
reality.
Why didn't he get in trouble for it? Why didn't he get in trouble?
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I agree.
because of men like you that don't care.
I agree. I agree in the sense like it's a disgusting talk. Like, of course, I agree with you with that. But still, at the same time, you can't just go based off of one thing and just say
You literally
as a
told us that
whole
you would.
person.
You literally
Like,
told us that you
imagine
would.
all the things that other politicians.
We're gonna literally now go ahead and replay the question that I asked. Stay in the Oval Office.
Well, you say illegal immigrants.
Support Trump as president, would you still be MAGA if you knew with certainty that Trump had perved on naked grown adult women and naked teenage girls, underage minors, while they're undressed and naked in a women's only space that he walked into without consent?
No. I just said no. You said yes or no question. I answered no. Do you even?
Oh, what happened to that energy, my friend? I said, and I quote, would you still support Trump? Would you still be MAGA if Trump did X? And you're like, no, Dean, I would stop supporting Trump. I would no longer be MAGA if Trump did X. And then I played you of Trump admitting to X. And now you're still trying to justify why you do support him, why you are MAGA. Why are you such a hypocrite?
I don't know. So what does that make me then, Dean? How does that make me as a person? If I support
that
Donald,
makes
no, I have a
you
question
a
for you.
very
I have a
evil
question for you.
hypocrite.
I have a question for you. If I support Donald Trump, knowing this information, what do you think about me as a human? What would you label me as?
Well, I mean, the
I
first
wanna know.
immediate, there's a bunch of thoughts that I'd have, but I think the main one right now is like fucking hypocrite. You know, this is kind of what I said the other day when I had somebody else come up here and say these things. Is like it just kind of exposes that a lot of Trump supporters are like not normal people. You know what I mean? It's like you're not normal, and you know this.
Dude, I am definitely
if you-
normal. I'm not
listen,
MAGA.
DJ, if you didn't know this, then you wouldn't have virtue signaled by saying, oh, Dean, no, I would never support Trump if he had done this. Dean, I promise to you, I'm a normal, civil, moral person, and I would stop supporting him if I knew that he did this. You wouldn't have given me that fake response that doesn't resemble how you
Are you
truly
rage
feel if
Are you
you
trying to
didn't
rage
know
bait?
that like your current position of still supporting him, even though he's done these things, was insane. Like, do you get what I mean there? Like, you wouldn't have given that fake
I feel like
response
you're
to the
rage
question.
baiting me. Like, I feel like you're rage baiting me because you asked me a certain question, right? I came up here, I gave you an answer. Then you just completely deflected onto something that is so unimportant. There was no consequences from anything that happened. It was just a weird conversation. Think about how many conversations like these happen all the time between these politicians. You can't just sit here and cherry pick the ones that you just think are good or bad. Like,
Okay,
of course,
question.
they're all bad,
Question.
but I'm not gonna.
If
At the
I-
end of the no, let me finish. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna make my final determination of who I'm gonna vote for based off some stupid talk that he said. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much bigger picture.
So then why did you say
You,
that you
no,
would?
no. Do you understand that?
I don't understand it because that you said,
Oh, I don't
you
know.
said
How
the
do you not
opposite.
understand that? I don't know how
Because
don't
you said the
understand
opposite.
that. No, you don't understand that because it doesn't work for your argument. That,
No, I don't understand that because you literally said the opposite. I thought that I already played you the clip. Like, listen to the switch up. No, you're a cult
all right,
member.
calm
You will
down. I
continue to
have no
support him.
bullshit.
Conflict a little bit later
The
on.
question is, how
No, I wouldn't like it, but you know, comparing to who else I'd have to vote for, you'd have to make some.
Okay, it's actually incredibly relevant.
And did he
because the
get charged
question
for
is,
any of this? Like,
would
did he,
you still be MAGA? Here we go. So you could ask me your
Did he get
question.
charged with
I need you to listen to this.
that?
You could ask me your questions after we get a clear answer from you. I just say yes or no. Would you still support Trump as president? Would you still be MAGA if you knew with certainty that Trump had perved on naked grown adult women and naked teenage girls, underage minors, while they're undressed and naked in a women's only space that he walked into without consent?
No. I just said no. You said yes or no question. I answered no. Do you even know what you was asking? Repeat your question. I don't know.
Explain the question that I asked you in that clip, and
No,
explain
I
your
changed.
answer
No,
to the
no,
question
no, no,
that's
no,
within
no, no,
that
no,
clip.
no. I just explained it to you. I just changed my opinion. It's not that hard of a concept.
Oh, you changed your opinion after you.
Yeah,
knew that it's
is it
something
that hard of
Trump
a
has actually
concept to
done?
understand? Yes.
Yo, you just said the quiet part out loud. Chad, everybody watching, he just said the quiet part out loud. Okay, and this quiet part here that DJ just admitted to is what makes MAGA a cult. So you don't care.
You're saying I'm a
what
cult
Trump
member?
does.
That's crazy.
It is. It is. It is something that I'm saying. You absolutely are. Because you don't care what Trump does. It's like, you know that there's simply things that are inexcusable that Trump is engaged in. Or else you wouldn't have told me that that was a red line that you were willing to hold against him when you didn't know that it's something that he's actually done. Like, dude, you're a human with a brain and a member of a species that is the most intelligent and rational species on the face of this planet. You have enough rationality inside of your mind in order to come to the conclusion that it is just simply unreasonable to support anybody in a position of power that has done these things. And that's why you told me that you would stop supporting him if he had done these things when you didn't know that he actually had done these things, right? But then it's like the moment that you figure out that he actually has, well, that's when you kind of go back and conform to that mob mentality of rejecting reality, rejecting that obvious truth that we would never reasonably support somebody that has done these things running the country. And you just conform to the cult hive mind of saying, I worship the orange fascists no matter what.
Dude, it's not a cult. It's just what somebody, like, you gotta, dude, I can do the same thing to you. Like, literally, Bill Clinton has probably done the same, if not worse, things to women, right?
Ask me the hypothetical. Ask me the hypothetical.
I don't want to, and I bet you Kamala Harris and her party, they support Bill Clinton or have in the past, and I bet you she would probably openly and publicly say that she's friends with Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. So, like, that's like the same connection. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
how
Can you please?
Yeah, for sure.
Can you please?
No, there it is. It's right there.
Well, we
No,
need to
there is
see
no
if it's
hypothetical.
actually true, though.
It is true. You just
Okay.
said yeah. I just asked you, do you see it? You
Okay.
said yeah. You just answered it.
So I answered to the logic that you were describing. Now we need to ensure that it's true. Could you
Okay.
please give me any evidence that Kamala Harris has sexually assaulted somebody?
I never said that. I never said
Oh,
she
so
said.
then you admit that the candidate that I voted for isn't a rapist. Could you give me any evidence that Kamala Harris had openly boasted about perving on naked teenagers?
No, because she never did that, obviously.
Oh,
Because-
okay. So then the candidate that I voted for hasn't boasted about perving on naked teenagers. Now, what about Bill Clinton? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ask myself the hypothetical question. And I'm going to ask every other left-leaning progressive or Democrat in this live the same one. If Bill Clinton was a rapist, if Bill Clinton had perved on naked minors, would you ever support that terrible man again? No.
Neither would I.
Wow. Oh, you just said neither
Yeah.
would I?
Yes.
So-
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
So this would be your red line against Bill Clinton, but it's not your red line against Trump.
It's a red line against anybody. But when you're running for president, you only have two options as people. So I'm not just gonna I'll give you the same thing. So you asked me when I first joined, right? You're gonna make the lives of all the American people difficult just for 10 T people in the NCAA, right? Isn't that what you asked me? So in my opinion,
I think that it's
so let me
important to
finish-
go back around to that because
Let
you
me
told
finish
me
my
that you
thought.
want to absolutely fuck over this country and destroy it all just to
I
remove
fin-
the right of 10 trans women from competing in the NCAA. But then when it's about a literal fucking president being an adjudicated rapist that has openly boasted about perving on naked girls, all of a sudden it's quote unquote unimportant according to your own words. Thank you.
Dude, I can't even Dude, you are insane. You wonder why people don't come up here. You're insane to debate because I can't even make a point
I
without
know.
you cutting me off
Keep
and
crying,
going on
buddy.
your little spiel.
Keep crying, kid.
No, you're crying. Like, anyways, what I was saying, right? How can you say that I'm willing to put millions of Americans' life at risk, right? Just for a few T people, right? And this is my point. I could think of it the same way. If I think in my head that Donald Trump is that much better of a candidate than Kamala Harris, why would I vote for Kamala Harris just because of something that Donald Trump said about a few teen girls in a Miss USA pageant a while ago? Do you understand how it's the same concept? Literally the same exact thing.
Well,
Literally the same
let's
exact
see
thing.
if I could follow that up with a question. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
How is Kamala Harris worse than the man that's been held liable for rape and has boasted about perving on
How
minors?
has he been held liable for rape?
A civil court determined that he raped E. Jean Carroll with a 9-0
Civil
jury
court is
decision
not
in
criminal court.
2022.
You know what civil court is, Dean?
I do know what civil court
What's
is.
civil
That's
court?
why I said
Tell
civil
me.
court.
Tell me what civil court is.
I think
What's the
that-
preponderance of evidence?
What's a preponderance of evidence? Something that's more likely than not
Yes.
to be the case. Whoa.
And what's sitting criminal?
It's true beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt, which would be the minimum
Exactly.
standard of evidence.
Boom. Exactly. So it wasn't a reasonable shadow of a doubt that Donald Trump raped whatever woman that you're talking about. It was just a 51% chance, and I'm not going off of that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, first and foremost, you've already made a big misrepresentation because a preponderance of evidence just means at a minimum 51% chance. However, this would
Yeah,
also
so that's
include.
what I'm going with. So
So
that's
you-
what I'm going with.
So you just
Based off of
accused
something
me
where
of
there was
being
no actual evidence
You
of,
just
there was no
accused
camera
me.
footage of it.
You
No.
just accused me of being insufferable and like rage baiting because I interrupted you, but then in your next breath you interrupt me. It's super cute.
No, because yeah, I had to do it to you because you did it to me. You see how it works?
So you're just
And that's it. I'm
playing
gonna do it again.
vigilante?
Basically, yeah. Now I'll stop.
Okay, well guess what? Do you know that I could stop that by forcefully putting your mic on mute? Oh, little boy's so upset. So anyways, I'll now respond. He just
Are you
didn't
the
want me
type
to
of guy to
demonstrate to him
forcibly,
why he was wrong. So now anyways,
the type
you
of guy to
said
forcibly do things to people?
So now you said that it is the case that the civil court that held Trump liable for rape only found it to be true with 51% certainty. So this is a gross misrepresentation of what a preponderance of evidence is. And I mean, I wouldn't doubt that a Trump supporter would give me such a gross misrepresentation because you're literally willing to change reality to blame the victims and to uphold the aggressors, to uphold the shitty men that do the bad things. And this conforms perfectly with your response when you told us that Donald Trump perving on naked kids was unimportant to you. So I wouldn't doubt it that this is too. But anyways, the preponderance of evidence would include at a minimum 51% certainty. However, there is no maximum, meaning that it could be 100% evidence that they would possess in order to prove this to be the case. However, because it was inside of a civil court, it would have still been proved with a preponderance of evidence as the evidential standard. Now, moving on, now you said that there's no evidence. Okay, well, I want you to go ahead and name the reasonable doubt that you possess to the evidence submitted in the court case, because as far as I'm concerned, I think it's fucking clear.
What's evidence? What was
Yeah.
evidence?
Oh, I think that you ask a great question. First and foremost, I think it's funny because you don't know it, yet you deny the outcome of the jury baselessly.
No, Dean, you're supposed to tell me. You're the one saying it happens. You're supposed to tell me the evidence.
Yeah,
I don't believe it happened.
I'm bad at
So you want no, let me get this straight. You want me to tell you the evidence when I don't even believe it happened? How does it even work, Dean?
Yeah,
Do you
for
hear
sure,
yourself?
because you typically accept the outcomes
No,
of
do
civil
you
courts.
hear yourself? No. Do you hear yourself?
Yes, I do, and
That
I'm
is
trying to
insane.
explain. I'm
Dean,
trying to
you're
explain to you why it's
absolutely
not
insane.
insane.
No, you're insufferable. You're insane.
Okay, well, I'm
Things
trying
that
to
you're
describe
asking
to
me
you
to
why
do
it's
is
not
quite
insane.
literally insane. You're trying to put me in situations that are impossible for me to answer. It's literally insane. How am I supposed to give you the evidence of something I don't believe happened, Dean?
Because you should know the evidence in order to conclude
No,
that
I
you
don't
don't
believe it
that
happened. Why would I give you the evidence? You're supposed to give it to me
Yeah,
so
let
I
me
can
know when
tell
I can
you it
talk.
didn't happen.
Yeah, let me know when I can talk.
Like, it's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous, Dean.
It's
And you
not
know it's
ridiculous at
ridiculous.
all.
It is ridiculous, and you know it's ridiculous.
I want it to describe why it's not ridiculous, but you literally can't shut the hell up.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay.
I thought you could forcibly mute me. You've been doing that the whole time. Like
Yeah,
to forcibly
but
put
I'd
yourself
rather
onto
not.
other people for no reason. You
I'd
can't do that in real
rather
life,
I'd
dude.
rather
That's why you
not
sit on
forcibly
TikTok all
mute
day.
you. I think
And
that
I prefer you
DJ's
wouldn't.
I think that DJ's crashing out. But anyways, you just told me that it's ridiculous for me to tell you that you should know the evidence that was used to hold Trump liable for the rape of E. Jean Carroll because you don't believe the outcome of the jury. That's actually the opposite of ridiculous. You knowing and acknowledging the evidence that was submitted inside of that civil court would be prerequisite knowledge in order for you to yield the conclusion that the jury ruled he was guilty without sufficient evidence. You fucking donut. Think about it. You typically do accept the outcomes of court rulings. Everybody does. But this one specifically, you don't. Which would mean you would possess the burden of reason. Which would mean that you would possess the burden to demonstrate why it is the case that you don't accept the outcome of the civil court. And that would mean you would have to look at the evidence, you would have to make an examination of it, and you would have to come to the conclusion that there was not enough evidence to find him guilty as the jury did. All right? Imagine if I told you, DJ, that all of the food in your fridge is spoiled. Would that be fair? No. Why would that not be fair? Because I don't know you. I don't know where you live. I haven't ever looked in your fridge, meaning that I don't possess the necessary information to come to the conclusion that all of the food in your fridge is spoiled. So when you make the claim that all 9 jurors were wrong and Trump is not guilty, he is innocent, that is unfair for you to say unless you know the jury, you know the court documents, you've read them, and you've examined the evidence to come to the conclusion that it was insufficient and all 9 jurors got it wrong inside of a system that you typically accept the outcomes of. So that's why it's not insane for me to assume that you'd actually have to know the evidence before you say the jury got it wrong.
And by the way, you still haven't said the evidence anyways. And by the way, I don't believe the courts all the time. Really? 2 big examples. First of all, most recently, you can see the Diddy. Really? Do you see what happened with the Diddy trial?
I think it's cute that you have to change. I think it's cute that you literally have to change my words. I didn't say all the time. I said typically.
No. Really? And OJ Simpson also. We're gonna leave the courts then also? Really?
I literally
Really?
said, I said
Really?
typically. And then even
The
when
criminal justice
and then
system,
even,
the criminal justice
and then
system in the
even,
U.S. is all type of fuck. All
wait,
type of fuck.
let me ask you a question. So the court that relates to OJ, I'm going to assume that you're talking about the criminal court that just threw the case out. So why do you believe that he was guilty, even though that they threw the case out and did not rule his guilt? It's because you have reason that would denote the civil court that held him liable, alongside the evidence.
Undoubtable reason.
Alongside the evidence in the book that was written. So it's like, even in the case of other courts that we reject the ruling of, such as the criminal court that did not rule OJ's guilt, you have reason to, rooted in your understanding of the evidence. Holy shit, you donut.
Dude,
you just exposed yourself. You just denied the outcome of a court case, and in supporting your denial, you referenced the fact that you know the evidence, and the evidence did not align with the outcome of the court. So now I will ask you to do the same thing for the civil court that held Trump liable for grape. Go ahead and explain to me what the evidence was that was submitted to that civil court, and why you do not believe it was sufficient in order to find Trump's guilt.
Dude, you're quite literally the biggest donut. Did you just compare the O.J. Simpson case to this Donald Trump case?
What was the comparison that I made?
The reason why it's different.
No. What was the comparison that I made? I'm putting you on the spot.
No. I'm telling you right now, because the evidence in the O.J. Simpson case, right, was way more obvious.
What was the comparison that I made?
Donald Trump case. I can tell you the
Dude, you're too emotional. You can't even listen to me. What was the comparison that I made?
No, listen.
No, answer my question. You just said, oh, Dean, did you really try to make a comparison between the Trump case and the OJ case? DJ, you are too fucking emotional to even let my words seep into your mind. You are emotional and you're crashing out because I'm making you look silly in front of 15,000 people live.
You're a pro
now, you
yapper,
just told me that I made a bad comparison. So what is the comparison that I made?
Dude, bro, you just yapped
Stumbling
all day
for
about
words.
some random bullshit.
You have no fucking clue. Random bullshit.
And complain about your viewers when they can't keep up because you just yap about 10 different topics. Listen, Dean, at the end of the day, you still can't give me that.
At the end of the day, what makes you look really fucking silly is the fact that you're telling me that I'm wrong, telling me that I'm ridiculous,
You're silly,
telling me
buddy.
that I'm insane, even though you don't even know what I said. And then when I ask you to tell me what I said, you can't even repeat it, and you just call it random yap BS, bro. Like, if you're gonna try to debate me, at the bare minimum, keep up. And if you make a claim, god damn, you better be able to substantiate it.
For Donald Trump. Therapy notes, really? Is that what we're going off of? We're going to convict a guy based off of therapy notes, really? Is that how you get down? Really, Dean? What other evidence was there? Really? Tell me. Tell me right now.
There's been one good reason why I haven't told you the evidence yet. Would you like to know what it is?
I don't care. I want you to tell me.
Okay, bro. You're going to have to give a little bit more than that. You're going to have to be a little bit more reasonable.
You should just tell me for the sake of the argument.
Here's what we got to do. I need you to just take a breather real quick. I'm going to put you on mute for around 20 seconds. While you calm down, I'm going to thank a handful of donors. Annie, thank you so much for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Annie says MAGA really struggles with non-literal thinking. They just struggle with all thinking. I'm going to be honest. Thank you for the $20, Annie. You are awesome. As well as Coral with the $20 over on super chat saying so happy to be here within the first hour. Hope you're having a good Sunday. You know what? My day's been all right. Thank you for the $20. As well as Osman. Thank you for the $20 on super chat as well. Saying I love how Trump supporters love to blame everything on immigrants, even though there's so much immigrants coming into the United States. I don't think I read that whole message. Even though the reason they are here is because of immigration coming into the United States. So real, Osman. Thank you for the $20. As well as I'd also like to very quickly thank Caitlin for the $15 over on PayPal around 20 minutes ago. Thank you for the love, Caitlin. You were awesome. And then Melissa with the $10 as well. Show some love to Caitlin and Melissa. Then Sasha with the $10 just now coming in off of PayPal. Thank you for the love, Sasha. And then Donna with the $10 on Venmo saying thank you for doing your work, but I hope you were having fun in your life as well. I am. And then Craig, thank you for the $25 over on Venmo. Craig says, this is from me and my friend Ashley. We both love watching your debates. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Craig and Ashley. Then Yari Ellis with a 5, Erica with a 5, Nick with a 5. I appreciate y'all so much. We are all caught up on the donation, so now we'll hop back into the debate. In the meantime, everybody, make sure to show some love to our donors down below. And if you want to support me yourself, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok and in the pinned message over on my YouTube stream. Okay, so now, DJ, you've calmed down a bit.
Can I just say something real quick?
You have something to say? Sure, why not?
Yes. So, first, can you stop being mean and calling me a cult member? Because we both know that's far from the truth. One, I'm a hard MAGA, okay? I just so happen to support Trump as of right now, okay? So you can stop with all this calling me a cult member because I am 100%
Listen,
not a cult member.
I don't call every person that comes up onto the live a member of a cult. I will call you that because of our first conversation when you told us that you would never support Trump if he had boasted
I would
about.
never support somebody that preys on little kids. Yes, I already told you that.
Country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting
Yeah, I already
dressed and
debunked
ready
it.
and everything else. And, no
already
men are
debunked
anywhere.
it.
And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Yeah, 4 contestants from Miss Teen USA, aged 14, 15, 16, and 17, came forward and said that Donald Trump had done this to them at Miss Teen USA.
Donald Trump touched them?
Donald Trump walked into their private spaces while they were naked and undressed to look at them.
Yeah, I agree. That's very weird, man. But I already debunked this whole argument that you have.
That's preying on kids, right?
I would have to I wish I would have not obviously been there, but seen the type of context because things get taken out of context very easily. But from the information that you're giving me, yeah, it seems like that. Yeah, it does. But I'm not just gonna base my whole support. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna base my whole support based off of one person just because of that. But I see where you're coming from. Yes.
Right. DJ, that's why you're a cult member because
No, I'm not a cult member. No, I'm not a cult member at
DJ,
all. I'm a
DJ.
100. No, if anything, you're a cult member. You just
DJ.
blindly,
Hey,
you
just
blindly
calm
follow.
down. Calm down. Let me finish
No, you
talking.
blindly follow.
Just
I'm
calm
not
down.
a sheep, Dean. I don't listen to random information like you.
DJ, just
Just
calm
because.
down.
No, don't tell me to
Calm
calm
down.
down because
I'm
I'm upset.
in the
No,
middle
you're
of
hurting my
talking.
feelings.
Just calm down,
I'm
DJ.
upset. You're hurting my feelings. No.
Okay. Take a hit of your anxiety then. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. So now the reason why I'm calling you a cult member is because of literally what you said right before I played you that clip and then had you concede that he preyed on kids. Just listen. Member of the
Dude,
cult, I will
you
call
can't
you
beat me.
that
This is why you do it.
because of our first conversation when you told us that you would never support Trump if he had boasted
I would
about.
never support somebody that preys on little kids. Yes, I already told you that.
Because you told me right before I played that clip. You told me that you would never support somebody that has preyed on children. Right? And then I played you the clip where he admitted to preying on children. I gave you the additional evidence as well, testimony from the children that were preyed on. And then I even got you to concede that, yeah, that is preying on kids. That is him being a predator. And then you're like, well, I still support him. That right there is what makes you a member of a cult.
Well, isn't Joe Biden does that also?
I don't think that Joe Biden has ever done this, but Bidenism definitely is not working in your favor because remember, this is about you and your support for Trump.
Because there's only so much more I can say because I already debunked this about 3.5 times. So I'd prefer that we could just go on to a different type of conversation because, I think at the same time that your point of arguing is I don't think it's just weird. It's not real life. Dean, I think you admit that it's crazy for me to just base my whole support off of one person based off.
Okay, I want you to debunk it again. Debunk this. DJ told Dean he would never support somebody that has preyed on kids. Dean proves to DJ that Trump has preyed on kids. Then DJ still supports Trump. Contradiction. Hypocrisy. Debunk that argument.
Okay, I guess you're right. I can't debunk that argument, Dean. I can't debunk it. But that doesn't take away my whole support for somebody, Dean. I already told you this. So you going back on this, it just kind of seems like you can't beat me in any other argument. That's just what it seems like. Because any other thing that we've tried to talk about, you just couldn't even bring up. I tried to ask you for evidence for the case. You just couldn't bring it up.
I'll give you the evidence right now.
You'll get the short in that because it's the only thing you can go back
are you ready
onto.
to destroy me on that?
Because you're playing the ethics game, Dean.
Are you ready?
This is your live in front of a lot of people.
Are you ready to destroy me on that? You're still yapping. I'm just trying to give you the evidence.
You have to play the ethics game. I understand. If I were you, I would do the same thing too. You have to play your angles. I get it. But still, come on. It's not like...
Are you ready for me to give you the evidence?
Yeah, go ahead.
For sure. So E. Jean Carroll was raped by Donald Trump. The reason why I know this is not only because of the evidence...
Wait, so you 100% know this?
I would appreciate if you'd let me finish before you ask any questions, DJ.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry.
And the reason that I know that E. Jean Carroll was raped by Donald Trump is not only because of the evidence that she submitted to the court, but also because of Donald Trump's counter response to her evidence inside of the courtroom, the inconsistencies and lies in his own testimony, as well as other markers of things that he's done and engaged in his life, right? So first and foremost, the evidence submitted by E. Jean Carroll to the court case was 1, therapist notes from the 90s indicating that she was raped by Donald Trump. 2, the fact that said therapist notes aligned with her own testimony alongside the testimony of 7 others. 3, the fact that she even claims she had the dress that she was raped in by Trump, and she said it had Trump's DNA on it. She submits it to the court. The court sends it to the lab. They conclude that they have found male DNA on it. So then they turn around and they're like, Trump, will you please willingly submit your DNA so we could test against the DNA in the dress? If he was innocent, submitting his DNA to be tested against the DNA in the dress would have exonerated him. He would have been found
Probably did.
innocent. But he didn't submit his DNA. He said no, which only gives us more reason to believe his guilt, because if he was innocent, they would have saved him, and he still didn't do it, and he was still found guilty.
That's
And
not
then
true. That's not true.
Point number 3, it is a case that there are inconsistencies within his own testimony. He said that he had never met E. Jean Carroll, in which E. Jean Carroll responded with a picture of them together. He said that he never would have raped E. Jean Carroll because she's not his type. But then in deposition, he confused a picture of his ex-wife as being a picture of E. Jean Carroll.
No, Dean. All that is.
And then on top of this all, when we look at Donald Trump's priors, we see a lot of shit that rapists would do. You know, like even the clip that we've been talking about this whole time where he just admits to perving on naked teenage girls. Ask yourself, is that something that a man who would have raped a woman in the 90s would have done? Yeah. Or like when he said that he likes to grab women by the P word without asking first. That's some shit that a rapist would say. Yeah. The fact that he was sending letters to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003 with pictures of naked women saying, may every other day be a new wonderful secret. That's some shit that a rapist would do. Yeah.
Dude, you're going off.
So when we look at all of the evidence that E. Jean Carroll submitted to that court, when we look at the inconsistencies and lies that were in Donald Trump's own testimony that related to that court, when we look at the fact that he had a chance to prove his innocence if he was innocent and he didn't take it up on that chance and that actually led to his guilt, and when we look at all of his priors and we conclude that they're all shit that rapists would say, all things that rapists would do, I think that we have more than enough reason to believe that he's guilty of the rape of E. Jean Carroll.
Okay. So, as far as the evidence with the dress and the DNA goes, why would he have to resubmit his DNA when they already have it? If it was already on the dress, if there was male DNA already on the dress and it was his, I'm confused.
Because they'd have to make sure it's his by comparing it to
No,
DNA that they know is his?
Even if that doesn't assume guilt, and even if true, that doesn't assume guilt if he doesn't want to give his DNA up.
But it gives us more reason to believe that he's guilty.
No, it doesn't. I don't think so. How would that? How could that be? How could that
for
possibly
sure. I'll give
be?
you an analogy. If you were drunk driving and a cop pulled you over suspecting you of a DUI, and they asked you to take a breathalyzer, which you're not legally obligated to take, would you take it, given that you were actually drunk?
It depends the whole situation.
Okay. Well, typically an answer there is going to be no.
No, that's not true. Well, that's not my answer, so I don't care what your typical answer is. My answer is it depends the cop, it depends the situation. If I'm in a traffic stop or a situation where I know I haven't drank anything and I'm dealing with a very aggressive officer that thinks I am, I might try to get a lawsuit because he might try to bring me down to the station anyways if I don't agree to a breathalyzer. So yeah, it really does depend. It's not just because I didn't do something that means I'm going to have you do something against that I don't want you to do. Do you understand that? Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, even in the response there, you literally just changed my question because I suggested that you actually were drunk. And then in your response, you said, well, if I wasn't drunk.
No, you didn't suggest I was drunk. You said
then
if
you
an
weren't
officer...
even listening to the question.
No,
DJ.
I don't even think you know your...
I know my own questions. You understand that you're the emotional one. I'm the person that does this for 4 hours every day. You're the one that can't keep track. I'm the one that tracks conversations with Trump supporters for 4 hours every day. You're the one that's sending yourself in circles. I'm the one sending you in circles. So if anybody here is not keeping track of the conversation, it's you.
No, you just yap about 10 different topics and expect people to answer the question that you yap.
So your response to me detailing why I believe that Donald Trump is guilty of E. Jean Carroll because of the evidence she submitted to the court, because of his inability to provide his own DNA to be tested against the dress, the contradictions in his own story as well as his priors, is apparently me yapping about 10 different topics? No, that was actually me answering your question insofar as why I believe that Donald Trump is guilty of raping E. Jean Carroll after you had asked me so incredibly hard and even accused me of pivoting and losing the debate and having no cogent defense. But then when I actually give you that defense, when I give you the argument, when I give you all the reasons, when I give you all of the evidence, you just accuse me of being a yapper that's ping-ponging around 10 topics. Dude, you are so dense. You've been intellectually destroyed. You're a member
dense,
of a cult.
buddy.
Anything else to say before I embarrass you even more?
Dean, I don't know who you think you are. Like, legitimately, you sit up here, just mute people all day and talk over people, okay? There's nothing special about anything that you do.
Well, I mean, there's definitely nothing special about this
You
conversation
have the
because it's
easiest
definitely
job
not
in the
progressing.
world. You have the easiest job in the world.
I definitely have the easiest job in the
literally.
world when I'm debating people like
You
you.
have the easiest job in the world.
You understand
Dean.
it's a self-dunk, right?
It is absolutely laughable. Like, seriously.
Are you are you looking in a mirror or are you saying that to me? Which one?
Why don't you, like, because it's just because I'm a regular person, you know, like, I don't, politics isn't my life. Like, I have a lot of different interests and hobbies.
Annie, thank you for the $20
like
over on
that.
YouTube super
So
chat
I
saying
just-
one second, DJ. Annie with a $20 saying if not cult member, then why cult member shaped? Dude, yeah, I mean, no, he's just he's absolutely a member of a cult. Thank you for the $20, Annie. I really appreciate you for the love, everybody watching. Show some love to
stop
Annie.
saying I'm a cult
And then
member.
also
You know what a cult
John,
member
thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo saying me again. Thank you for flipping the uninformed. Well, thank you for being here with us again today, John. Everybody show some love to Annie and John down below in that comment section. Thank you, Annie and John. I appreciate y'all so much for the love.
No.
As well as Amanda saying that DJ, you're a member of a cult. Can you thank Amanda for her
No,
$10
you
for
guys don't even
$5
know
real
what a
quick?
cult is. That's crazy. The fact that you guys toss around these terms.
Donna
these
with the
days is
$5
absolutely
on Venmo saying cold. I appreciate you for that love, Donna. Can you thank Donna real quick for the $5?
Sure, thank you, Donna.
Hey, name your favorite Trump policy.
Probably no tax on tips.
So you're a fan of the big beautiful bill? What's your annual income?
My annual income, it depends. I got a lot of different like jobs, like, you know, different ways I make money, so it's kind of like fluctuating.
Are you middle class or high class?
What do you mean?
Are you like around the average American?
What do you mean?
Do you make over or under $60,000 per year?
I would say probably around that.
Okay. Well, guess what? According to the Center
I
on
don't live by
Budget-
myself though.
According,
I'm still in college. Like,
according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, the big beautiful bill is actually going to cost you more than it saves you.
no, it won't.
Well,
That's bullshit.
So according to the Center on Budget and
I don't
Policy
care.
Priorities,
According to
it
my
will.
ass, I don't give a fuck. It's bullshit. It's not gonna happen, man.
Well, the reason why it is going to happen is because of all the cuts
really,
inside
Dean.
of the big
According to
beautiful
all
bill.
the top economics, really, according to all the top economic people, we would already be in a fucking recession right now. That we're saying if Donald Trump got elected as president. So I'm not just gonna believe that things are gonna happen just based off this. No, you can't just say that. We can't just jump to those conclusions. Okay, are you a sheep? Do you just jump to conclusions? Are you like a conspiracy theorist? Do you just jump to these conclusions? Really? Just because somebody said it's gonna happen, is it gonna happen? Really? No, Dean. I hate to break it to you. That's not how this works. Okay.
So we have,
Maybe I can teach you a little something about that also. That's not how this works. Okay. There you go.
we
You can
don't
go ahead and
jump-
talk now.
We don't
Good
jump
boys.
to these
Yeah.
conclusions. We
Yeah.
come to these conclusions with a reason.
Uh-huh.
So,
No.
like for instance,
No,
like-
you don't. No. You said the big beautiful bill is gonna do this. It's gonna happen. DJ, they're gonna take money away from you. That's what you literally just said. No evidence to back it up. Nothing.
Would you like
Nothing.
the evidence?
No, there is no evidence because it hasn't happened. How
there
can you give
is.
me evidence on something that hasn't happened? So
The
how
bill-
do I
Because
have
of the
more money
language
than
of
ever?
the text of the bill. Are you ready for me?
How
to
do I
tell you
have
what
more
that
money than
evidence
ever?
is?
Okay, how do I have more money than ever right now? Then tell me.
The bill was signed into law 30 days ago.
Okay, so I should be losing money as we speak then, right?
In fact, you are.
No, I'm not. I can tell you I'm not.
I could be very clear. Are you ready?
How? Yeah, I get
Sure.
paid under the table in cash. So go ahead, tell me how.
You get paid under the table?
Yeah, I got 3 cash jobs.
Should we deport you?
Should you deport me?
Yeah.
I
Should we
was
deport you?
born here.
Oh! You just actually got flagged, so I gotta remove you. You just got a flag for hate speech. Damn it! I really hope that I could have had a chance to run that argument. That would have been nice, but he got a flag for hate speech, so I had to remove him. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Okay, Logan's not here, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next guest. We got Bread loading up in. Yo, Kate, thank you for the $5 over at Venmo for doing the easiest job in the world. I'm not gonna lie, he made it a little bit tough. I honestly, like, he was so crazy. I kind of feel like he was just rage baiting. Does anybody else feel like that? I don't know. But anyways, for the 10.7 thousand people in here with us in the meantime, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. Like, I don't know if it's like just me. I feel like he was like rage baiting. What's up, J-Lo? You support Trump? I sound like a baby, I'm not gonna lie. All right, we're gonna go to throw those rules back up on the screen. If you're watching and you want to help pay for my therapy after dealing with him for around 30 minutes, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of all the proceeds over on those platforms. They go straight to me, and you get a notification at the top of this phone screen. Like, you can actually see one right now. Monica, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Monica says DJ's voice is birth control. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the $10, Monica. You can also find them on YouTube in the pinned message. Welcome in, Disciple of Truth. Do you support Trump?
Dean, I love you.
Okay, well, actually, based. It's cool to see that there's Christians out there that are a big fan of me. Bro, dude, okay, I've been losing some of my Christian fans because there's this guy, his name is Theus Brooks, and like 2 years ago, we went into it about Christianity. Like, we had a debate, we went back and forth in videos and whatnot, and in like one of my videos, I made a big mistake by saying that Ephesians 21 exists. And this was like 2 years ago. This was in October of 2023. But now Theus Brooks just reposted the videos. So now everybody thinks that they're new. And I've seen like all of these like Christian liberals coming out and saying, oh, wow, I didn't know that Dean was so dumb. He needs to stay away from Christianity. Even though this was literally 2 years ago. It's great that the biggest mistake of my career is saying Ephesians 21 instead of Deuteronomy 21 in one TikTok video 2 years ago, and that it still haunts me to this very day. In the grand scheme of things, I think that should show y'all how reliable I am, because the only obvious mistake I've ever made was saying the wrong book of the Bible in one video 2 years ago. I hope that shows y'all that I'm reliable and that I'm usually right. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
No, bro. I just gotta say simply,
Skedaddle. Moving on to the next guest. Take a look at the rules on screen before you hop in that queue, everybody. Make sure that you are following the rules if you are attempting to come up here and have a debate with me. Yo, Fiend, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube. Thank you for the love, Fiend. Fiend asks, did you like the South Park episode? By the way, you're a real master space debater. I thought it was funny as hell. I appreciate you for that love, Fiend. What's going on, Jackson? You support Trump?
Yes, I do.
You do? Yeah, you're very obviously making your voice deeper. Get out of here, kid. Moving on to the next guest. If you want to skip that line and come right up onto the live, guys, go ahead and spam a MAGA drop a MAGA with your age down below. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Hi.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Hi. Oh my God. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I am majoring in biochemistry. I'm about to take my final exam tomorrow.
Do you support? Very nice. Do you support Trump?
As an educated woman, I do not.
Based. Please don't come up here if you're breaking the rules, though. I've been banning everybody that has breaking the rules. I'll make an exception for you for now, but please don't do that again. But based, nonetheless, still based. Eduardo, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Eduardo says, your patience is honestly remarkable. Watching you has become a daily ritual for me. You give me hope for the future, and I wish you the best. Eduardo, thank you for being here, and thank you for the $10, as well as Faith with the Galaxy as well. Welcome in, Sly. Do you support Trump?
No, I didn't mean to join.
Just kidding, they didn't mean to join. Moving on to the next guest. We got Miss Rose loading up in here. Hell yeah. Also, if there's any like older Trump supporters in here, like the old gens, like 30, 40, 50, 60, let me know down below in that chat. I'll happily get you up here. What's going on? You support Trump?
Donald Trump, bitch. Donald Trump, fuck you.
Yeah, your mic literally sucks so much. I'm going to keep it a buck. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yep.
Okay, how old are you?
20.
Okay, what time is it?
I'm in Ireland right now, but I'm from America.
Skedaddle. Moving on to the next guest, we're going to go to get Stone loaded up into the box. Everyone, just give us a minute here, y'all. We got that next guest loaded up in, y'all. What's going on? You support Trump?
Hello. Sorry, I want you to debate my grandma because we've been watching her live stream, and she's just so stupid. I'm sorry.
Is she with you?
She's downstairs, but I'm running to get her right now.
Okay, we'll do
But
this again. I'm down with it. I'm down. Yeah, you know, I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down.
okay. Oh my god. Let me just run.
No, name. I appreciate you for that, Galaxy. Thank you.
She accepted it, or he accepted it.
No.
Yes.
I don't want to talk to this village idiot, huh?
Wait. What is her name, real quick?
Her name is Pam.
Pam. Dean, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'd love to have a chat.
Oh, I'm sure you would, Dean.
Don't you think that it would set a good example to your granddaughter to show her what, informed conversations between people that politically disagree look like?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, are you down to set that example by having a super
Go
kind?
ahead. Knock yourself out.
Awesome, Pam. Well, I understand, Miss Pam, that you support Trump. I'm just here to try to figure out why. So maybe we could have a back and forth. You know, I'm a big time liberal. I was riding with Joe, Mr. Biden forever, Daddy Joe Biden, big fan. But Pam, why don't you take it away? Why do you like Trump?
I like Trump because he proved back in 2016 that he could turn America around and give the tax breaks to the people that needed it. And he job growth for a lot of the underserved communities.
Okay.
And did a lot of good in those 4 years.
Yeah. So in his first 4 years, we did see that the unemployment rate for marginalized Americans, Black Americans more specifically, had reached a 50-year low at 5.4%. Maybe one point that I like to bring up is we actually saw an even lower unemployment rate for Black Americans at 5.1% twice under Biden's term. And he didn't really do much to cause that job growth in his first term. Maybe you want to say the tax cuts, but there's a financial institution by the name of Brookings that did a study on the outcome of those tax cuts, and they concluded that they didn't incentivize any new macro-level business investment, and it would have required new macro-level business investment to create more jobs. So we know that the tax cuts didn't really create many new jobs.
But the tax cuts helped the average American be able to put food on their table, put more gas in their cars, and to help, put their kids through college, even to help with the payments for that.
So you're actually right in a sense. I think that we have a study from the IRS that told us that his first round of tax cuts in his first term gave the average American $6,000 more per year. And that's why I'd overall rate his first tax cuts a good C-, because although they did help the average American a little bit, like 85% of the cuts in the bill went to the top 1%. Imagine what we could have done if it was more fair and more of that went to the average American. But, there's a big difference.
You know why they do the top 1% tax cuts?
Like disproportionately?
So that they can actually have more money to hire more people and employ more people.
Well, like I said, that's not what we saw during his first term. And we wouldn't expect to see it because when you lower the corporate tax rate, you're actually just more incentivized to take more money out of the business. When the corporate tax rate is higher and that tax rate only applies on like on the top line profit, well, then you're incentivized to make sure that there's less top line profit by reinvesting more of that money back into the business tax free. So when you reduce that tax, the tax rate on corporations, they're only more incentivized to take more money out of the business.
Them to hire more people because they have the money to do so.
Well, remember, the money that they take from their revenue and put into hiring more employees is tax deductible.
Okay.
All right. So because it's tax deductible, they're going to be more incentivized to claim more of those tax deductions by spending more on their employees if we have a higher corporate tax rate. Now, what I'd like to say here about his tax cuts in his second term today is they kind of do the opposite. Like you told me that a big reason why you supported them in his first term is because they helped the average American. And they did a little bit. I even, conceded on that point. This time, not really. This time, not really.
Gas prices were 99 cents a gallon.
In the pit of the pandemic when nobody was driving. But I'd like to focus on
not in the pit of the pandemic. Before that.
I don't think that we saw that before that. Now, as I was talking about his tax cuts in the second term here, we have a lot of numbers and data about these tax cuts signed into law under the Big Beautiful Bill. So you told us that a lot of your priorities align with making sure that the average American has enough money to put food on the table, the average American has enough money to put their kids through school, the average American has enough money to buy a house, etc. Well, with the big beautiful bill, not only are we ensuring that the average American and everybody below the average American is going to have less money at the end of the year because it defunds things like the DOE. So now more parents are going to have to pay for the meals of more children in school. It's going to kick 18 million school students off of free school student lunches.
What
But it's
has the Department of Education done since they came in 1970?
provided subsidies to some states that need them to give their students free school student lunches is
No.
one thing.
Okay, that might be the only good thing.
Well,
But they
another good thing
certainly
is
did
keeping
make
your
sure the
property
kids were
taxes low.
educated.
Another good thing that they've done is help keep your property taxes low. Would I be right to assume that you live in a Republican area?
Nope.
You don't? Okay. Well, Republican areas don't have that much money. So like 75% of the GDP contributions come from Democratic states. So the Republican states, they don't really generate that much money. And what is the money that local school districts use to pay for their schools and fund the curriculum, et cetera? Local property taxes. And because red areas generate less money than blue areas, they generate less in property taxes. And a big rule that the Federal Department of Education has served is trying to keep a balance in the quality of education across the country by subsidizing areas that don't raise as much in property taxes, thereby they don't have as much money to spend on their local school districts. And what the Department of Education at the federal level will do is they'll step in and they'll say, we're going to give you more money. So in a way, it's just setting an equilibrium to try to achieve an equal standard of education regardless of what state or area you
Not
live
an
in.
equal standard of education when the kids aren't learning anything.
Well, it's trying to ensure that
Trying to
it's closer,
indoctrinate
and the kids would be learning
kids.
less if they had less money to spend on the schools.
They already are learning less. As much money as they were given for the schools, our kids are not educated.
So you think that the solution is to make
reading,
sure that they're
math.
less educated?
Why would they be less educated when you give it over to the state?
Because then
to
the
take
state
it.
has less funding because they're no longer getting subsidized in part by the federal government. And then your property taxes go up because then the local school
No, they
districts
don't.
need more money to run the schools.
That's untrue.
I mean, there's literally two options.
Yeah, you're still going to get your government subsidies that are going to help you and not the school boards. You know how much money the school boards make? Too much money. And they don't do anything to educate the kids.
So you're saying that the federal Department of Education might go away, but the money will keep flowing. Okay, well then why did the money stop flowing to 18 million school students?
Where? 18 million school students where?
Yeah, 18 million school students across our
California?
country, disproportionately in red states, are no longer having access to free school student lunches because of cuts under the Big Beautiful Bill, alongside 10 million other Americans that are being cut off of Medicaid, and then those that are not being cut off of Medicaid are now expecting to pay an increased premium of upwards of 75% when they need it, not to mention the 3 million Americans that are being kicked off of food stamps. I think
And
that
do you
these are
know
all
what
things that the Big
reason
Beautiful
that
Bill does.
Medicaid was in the beginning was to help people that had low income jobs in order to keep them working and keep them so they would have insurance for their families and their children. And it turned around total opposite, where the government was giving everything to them. They were giving them their insurance, their Medicaid, without them working, without them having to, lift a finger to even contribute to it, because as you know, it's taken from taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
That's where Medicaid comes from.
I don't think that you should have to work to receive Medicaid.
And your reason?
I just view it as an essential. Like, for instance, do you think that public roadways are an essential?
Public roadways?
Yeah. Like the roads you drive on.
You have a car, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think
And
that our public roadways are like paid for and funded by the taxpayer? Should our public roadways have a work requirement on them in order to drive?
Have a what requirement?
A work requirement. Like you should have to work 20 hours a month in order to drive on the public roadways since they're paid for by the taxpayer. Like, my answer would be no. My answer would be they shouldn't have that work requirement on them because they're an essential
Right,
regardless
but that
of work
has
or not.
nothing to do. That has nothing to do with insurance.
Well, the analogy here is.
Okay, what's your analogy?
The analogy here is the reason why we'd say that public roadways shouldn't have a work requirement on them, even though they're funded and paid for by the taxpayer, is because they're an essential that everybody needs, regardless if you're a taxpayer or not. That's the analogy, because Medicaid,
But the roadways,
although
they
it
were
is funded
supposed
and
to be
paid for by the
funded and paid
taxpayer,
for.
shouldn't have a work requirement on them because they're an essential regardless if you work or not, existing as a low-income American.
But initially, the roadways were supposed to be paid for by people's buying lottery tickets.
Not necessarily true. Interstates being paid for by the federal government was a response to pressure on states to increase their minimum drinking age to 21. And then even, like, if you're telling me that other roadways were originally supposed to be paid by lotto tickets, sure, maybe that's what they were originally intended to do, but that's obviously not the case. Now they are
Roadways,
paid for by
yes.
taxes.
Your international, like I-75 or whatever, that goes internationally all through all of the states. They're supposed to be government taken care of.
Right. See how we're okay with, like, spending the taxpayers' dollars on things that are an essential for people, even if that are a necessity for people, right? Would you say it's like a necessity for people to, like, not die at like 35 from cancer that they didn't know that they had because they didn't have access to, like, preliminary screening in their annual physical? Like, obviously, like, it's going to be essential to prevent that. Like, healthcare is necessity for people. And, like, this isn't me saying that I think we shouldn't have policy to incentivize people to work 20 hours a month that are able-bodied. Like, duh, we should have that. I just think that it should be separate from healthcare policy.
Because people stopped trying. They stopped trying to get a job. They stopped because the government was taking care of them.
Well, I don't.
So
even,
you get a generation of very lazy people
But
that
I
don't want to do anything.
I don't think that access to the hospital is going to make you lazy. Like, access to the hospital doesn't pay your rent. It doesn't put food on your table.
Well, no.
Right? So it's like, if you're telling me that you just don't support, like, these social safety nets for low-income Americans without work requirements, if it would make low-income Americans lazy, well, we just agreed that, like, access to the hospital doesn't make low-income Americans lazy.
I don't approve of Medicaid for illegal aliens. That's what I don't approve.
Well, don't worry. It's not offered to undocumented immigrants, so that shouldn't be a concern here. What
I know
should
you
be a
keep
concern
saying
to
that,
you
but
would be
it's
the 10 million American citizens that were cut off of Medicaid, but for whatever reason, it's not.
What? Oh, okay. What now?
Well, I mean, you just told me that, you don't want undocumented immigrants to have access to Medicaid. Then I said, well, that shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
Okay, well, that shouldn't
They
even.
shouldn't, and they do.
Well, they don't.
You're sitting there saying they don't, but they do.
According to whom?
Here in Michigan, I know they do.
Are you talking about a state level form of, like, Medicaid or an offshoot of Medicaid that provides health insurance to low income undocumented immigrants? Sure, those exist. But remember, we're talking about the 10 million American citizens that were cut off of federal Medicaid through federal policy directed by the Trump administration.
Okay.
And just to kind of rehash to where we're at so far in the conversation, Pam, the first time I asked you about your thoughts on these 10 million Americans being cut off of federal Medicaid, you were like, you support it because you think that there should be a work requirement on it. And then I responded to that by demonstrating to you.
That's not what I said. I said the illegals that were cut off, the 10,000 illegals or 10 million illegals, whatever, that were cut off, they shouldn't have been on it in the first place.
Okay, I see the point of confusion. Undocumented immigrants can have access to health care in some states, but it's only statewide policy. It's state healthcare systems. And the 10 million American citizens that lost access to healthcare lost access to federal healthcare benefits. Because remember, Trump is like the president, and when he got that big, beautiful bill passed, he passed that through the federal Congress, so it was federal policy. And that federal policy redesigned the funding for and qualifications for federal healthcare, not state healthcare that undocumented immigrants can claim in some states, but federal healthcare that can only be claimed by citizens and cannot be claimed by undocumented immigrants. So every single one of the 10 million American citizens that lost access to healthcare because of Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill were only citizens, no undocumented immigrants.
I don't believe that, but okay.
So, I mean, do you trust Elon Musk?
Sometimes.
Elon Musk has even affirmed this. And it's because it's, like, illegal to take federal funds and give them to undocumented immigrants. Like, even on the state level, like you were talking to Michigan, saying that some undocumented immigrants have health insurance. They're getting that from the states.
Michigan, California, New York, Colorado, they all do it.
Yeah. Actually, every state that you just named there does give some benefits to undocumented immigrants. But it's even illegal for them to use federal funds to get it done. It's all state funds. And remember, we're talking about federal funds,
When the
federal
Biden
policy, and federal health
administration,
care.
they gave them, not only did they give them the Medicaid, they gave them free housing, free education, free, food, free clothing, all of that.
Okay.
That was taxpayer funded.
So
And
housing,
you know that.
actually, I don't think that there's a single state that offers like free housing to undocumented immigrants. I think that you're probably talking about legal immigrants, asylum seekers in the state of New
Nope.
York. And then now to your second point about free education, like K through 12. Did you know that it's unconstitutional to deny undocumented immigrants a free public education K through 12?
When they take over the whole school and kick the American citizens out of it, yeah, that's kind of illegal on their part, not our part.
Okay, well, that's not how
Because
school,
then our children
that's not
are
how
not
school
being
districts work.
educated.
That's not how
Well,
school districts work.
As Chicago.
So
Chicago will tell you differently.
So no. So schools don't work. You don't kick people out of it. In fact, like school districts want as many people as possible to go to their schools, and when they don't have the capacity to accept more students, they literally build more schools because the amount of money that they get from the federal government to run the schools is completely dependent upon how many students that they have. They want as many students
when
as
you have a
possible to
bunch
get
of
more
kids
money,
coming in
and then
that
when they have
speak
even
no
more kids going in,
English.
then they build more schools, and then everybody gets an education. In fact, it's literally like illegal for a kid in America to not go to school. So you will not find, like a 12, a 13, a 14, a 15-year-old American child that is not going to school because their schools don't have room for them because of undocumented immigrants. And if that was something that we did see, this would have been blasted throughout all of the mainstream media for the last 4
No,
years
it wouldn't
straight.
have been. They didn't blast anything that the Biden administration did wrong.
Okay, then
They
how
blast.
do you know that American children were being kicked out of school because of undocumented immigrants? How do you know that?
Because of my friends that live in Chicago.
And what did your friends that live in Chicago say?
They took over their whole neighborhoods. They literally kicked their parents and stuff out of nursing homes, and because the nursing homes were getting paid more money from the government, they housed the illegals there. They did that to apartment complexes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and displaced a lot of American citizens because the places were getting more money from the federal government to house the illegals.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm just not really seeing any of this. I have a question. Your friends that told you all this, are they like law enforcement officers? Or do they work for the IRS? Do they have access to people's identifications and social security numbers?
They live in those neighborhoods.
So you tell me that they just like looked at somebody and said that's an undocumented immigrant? How can you tell that somebody is an undocumented immigrant by looking at them?
Go to any of the town hall meetings.
And in the town hall meetings, what are they doing, saying, et cetera, to make it clear that they're not citizens, that they're undocumented immigrants? Speaking
Because they
another
came,
language
they
than
came by
English?
they came by the bus loads, and the Americans were displaced and the immigrants were bussed in.
So how do you know that they were undocumented? Is it because of the color of their skin or the language that they speak?
Don't act all racist and all that, because that has nothing to do with it.
So then how do we
Don't
make
throw
that?
in color of their skin and all that in there, because that was just a nonsensical.
So then how are you guys making
statement.
this determination that they're not documented? How do you know that they're undocumented?
Bus loads of people coming from the airports.
I've been on a bus from an airport before.
Okay, Dean.
Bus loads of people typically run to and from airports on a daily basis at scheduled intervals.
But after everybody's been displaced already out of that apartment complex and a busload of people come in, you don't think that they're the illegal immigrants?
Well, how do we know that they're undocumented immigrants? Because they're on a public bus? I mean, have you ever been on a public bus before?
Oh my God, this guy's too much.
Well, I mean, come on, I'm just like pointing out
You're
like
being-
issues in your way of
you're being a
thinking.
little ridiculous. You're acting like this didn't happen. You're acting like it never happened in 4 years.
I don't think what you're describing
you
happened.
know about-
I
you know
don't
about the
think
bus loads of people
I don't think that American children
busted.
were kicked out of school. I don't think that people were kicked out of their houses. You actually can't do that. That would be violating a lease agreement. That's illegal. You can't just kick people out of their houses. I don't think that undocumented immigrants were just taking everything over. That's completely ridiculous and insane. And so like the reason why I'm like prodding and poking holes in what you're telling us here is because it makes it clear that you don't really have like a defensible base to argue that all of these people coming into Chicago and taking everything over are undocumented immigrants. You know, I think that Chicago is a big city. It's only continued to grow and get larger. More people go into Chicago than there are coming out on a daily or annual basis. I think that socioeconomic conditions change. People will move in and out of houses. People, you know, move into their apartment for the first day. They'll go to and from
Okay,
airports
that's
and
good. Keep the
buses.
blinders
And,
on.
and,
That's a
and,
good way to do it. Keep the blinders
well,
on.
I'm asking you to take the blinders of hate, bigotry, and MAGA cult off and give me your logical
First of all,
defense that these
there's
people
no
are.
hate, there's no bigotry,
Really?
and there's no mega cult.
There's not a MAGA cult. Could I test that?
Sure, knock yourself out.
Could we agree with me that only a cult member would still support a man as president that has openly boasted about perving on naked minors?
First of all, he wasn't perving on naked minors. You keep saying, "Oh, Miss Teen America," you know, it was Miss Universe that he was running the show for.
He ran all three. Miss
They
Teen
weren't
USA, Miss
minors.
USA, and Miss Universe. He ran three.
Well, the one he was referring to wasn't the child's show.
Well, then why do we have
Pounding
women
it
that
in
were
there.
children at Miss Teen USA coming forward and all testifying to the fact that what Donald Trump described in that clip is something that he's done to them?
Well, I've never heard those testimonies. Where did you hear them?
Yeah, on the live, one of my friends. Her name is Victoria. She's in her 40s. She was a contestant at Miss Teen USA when she was in her teens. She'll come up onto the stream every so often and talk about how this is something that Donald Trump has done to her, as well as you could read the testimony of others there.
And you also realize it was a different time.
Well, I mean, I don't. Regardless of the time, I think that an old man looking at naked teens without, I was about to say
Well,
without their
back
consent,
then
but
he
they can't
wasn't
even
an old
consent,
man.
and that should be fucking given is wrong, no matter what the time is. Right? Like, can we agree that when you were growing up, when you were a little girl, it was a significantly different time? So does this mean of when you were a little girl, when it was a significantly different time, that if an old man wanted to like sexually take advantage of you, that would still just have been as wrong in the 1940s as it is today?
Well, it's something, of course, you didn't like, you know, but it wasn't something at that time that was made such a big deal about because they never grabbed anybody. He never grabbed anybody. He never walked by and grabbed a titty, any of that stuff, you know. And they were young kids. He wasn't going after young kids.
14 is pretty young. 15 is young. 16 is young. 17 is young. 18 is young. 19 is young. 20 is young. And guess what? Like, these people can't consent either because they're kids. You have a granddaughter. She put you on the phone. How old is she?
14.
So she's the same age as the girls that we're talking about. If an older man did this to her, would you defend him? Would you stick up for him? Would you try to pass it off as something that wasn't too wrong because he didn't touch her? Or would you say that this is a bad man that deserves to rot in a jail cell until the day he dies?
That's going a little far.
Well, it is because
yeah,
now I'm making you imagine these things in the sense of your own family, right? I understand that it will invoke an incredibly strong emotional reaction that's going to be incredibly uncomfortable, but that's the reason why I asked, because regardless if it's a member of your family or not, it should feel just as uncomfortable, just as wrong if it was in 2025 with your granddaughter or in the 1990s with Victoria. You know? Like I just wanted you to be able to see that point. I think that men taking advantage of women is wrong. I think it's really wrong as well to kind of write it off and act as if it's not a big deal. And you know, I don't know. You know, we
acting like it wasn't a big deal. I'm just saying that was a long time ago, and it wasn't as big a deal back then as it is now.
According to society, it may not have been a big enough deal, but I don't think that society as a whole determines what's right and wrong. Right? You know, like when you tell me it wasn't as big of a deal in the 90s, all that you're really telling me was society at the time normalized p-threatiophilia and taking advantage of women and girls to a higher extent than we do today. But there's obviously a good reason
No, I just
why
think
that
that more
normalization
men
has
were in
diminished.
charge back then.
Oh, so you're saying a
And,
way to stop this from happening is to put less men in charge? Well, you had an opportunity to vote for a pretty awesome woman, but you kind of passed up on it.
There was nothing awesome about Kamala. Come on, she couldn't even string a sentence together.
Kamala is how you pronounce her name, and now you're telling me that the one reason you didn't vote against Kamala Harris is because you didn't like the way that she speaked, but now you've been defending Donald Trump perving on minors in the 90s for the last 30 minutes. Big difference.
Oh, I don't even think Kamala could have balanced her checkbook. I couldn't see her trying to run the country.
Kamala is how you pronounce her name. Let's call her Miss Harris, just so we're getting that right. Miss Harris. So Miss Harris couldn't have balanced her checkbook. What does that mean? Because obviously Donald Trump can't either. What is our current national debt? Do you know?
Oh yeah, that's in trillions. Yeah.
27 trillion. Do you know what percentage of our current national debt Donald Trump is personally responsible for?
Do you know what percentage of our current national debt that the Democrats are responsible for?
Yeah, I actually do. So
Starting back from Obama.
Right now, Donald Trump is currently responsible for 20% of our national debt. And this is because in his first term, he signed $8.6 trillion worth of debt-related spending into law. And now in his second term, he's already signed close to $4 trillion of debt-related spending into law, totaling just around or over $12 trillion of debt-related spending he signed into law in 4 years and 200 days. How much do you think the Biden-Harris administration did in 4 years?
No, a lot more than that.
No, according to the Committee on a Responsible Federal Budget, they only signed $4.6 trillion into law. The fiscal conservative party today is the Democrats.
There's nothing conservative about the Democrats.
Their propensity to spend less than the Republicans or MAGA definitely is more conservative, with a little bit more of a colloquial use of the word conservative there.
All right.
You know, so it's like you just told us that you weren't a big fan of Harris because you think that she would have been bad at balancing the checkbook of the country. But I mean, look at how much money she spent in her 4 years compared
Look at how
to
many. Look
Trump
at
in his
how
5.
many. Look at how many speeches that she tried to do.
Okay, I
mean,
think that she's a pretty good public speaker.
Okay, that's your opinion. You know, before they placed her, you know, in the position to run for president, she wasn't voted in. The democracy was not even, you know, put in during her. She was rated the worst vice president in history because she didn't really do anything for the country.
When she
Didn't
was
do anything
VP?
to help the country. Yes, when she was vice president. Yes.
Okay, I don't think that's true because I think she did a lot. Point number 1, she passed more tie-breaking votes in the Senate than any vice president in American history. Point number 2, she worked alongside Biden to pass some of the most monumental domestic policy in modern American history, like the Chips and Science Act, that invested billions of dollars into centering more chip production in America, getting us from producing just above 0% of the global supply to close to 30. That's now opened up chip producing facilities in Idaho, Arizona, and all across this country. B, they signed the PACT Act into law, which was close to $1 billion investment into giving more veterans greater access to health care. C, they signed the American Rescue Plan and the infrastructure bill into law, giving more people more jobs and making sure that our bounce back from the pandemic was faster than any other country in the G7 in Europe. So we did that really well. So I think that she was very accomplished, very accomplished. And you're older, so you've definitely been around with a lot of vice presidents. Can you name one thing any other vice president in history has done? Pence, Al Gore, Biden, anyone?
No, not any of them at all.
Right. So I actually know more about what she's done in her 4 years than you do in your 70, 80 years with any other vice president. What does this say about what she did and her accomplishments? It says a lot.
You're sitting there with a sheet of facts in front of you.
No, I'm sitting here looking at myself in a live stream. I don't have a sheet of facts in front of me.
Well, keep seeing the plate.
Well, I mean, I'll even show you here. Look at that. This is what I got in front of me. It's my big old monitor. Over here on the monitor, I have my YouTube stream since I do a dual stream. Then over here on the monitor, I have my my TikTok stream, which is when I'm talking to you. Then if we zoom out here, it's pretty boring outside of that. Just got my little camera over there and my light. So, I mean, I don't have a sheet of facts, but, you know, here we are nonetheless.
Okay, well, good job. You take care of yourself.
I appreciate you so much for the conversation, man, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
You too.
We're going to move on to the next guest, everyone. Just give us a minute, y'all. When we have people come up here and they want to put their family members on, I'm always, like, significantly more respectful than I usually am or can be, just because I don't want to, like, inflame the tensions. You know what I mean? Like, there's this one kid that came up here a while ago.
Once again, screw Trump. That's all I got to say, screw Trump.
There's, like, this one kid that came on a while ago that put his dad on the mic, and, you know, I got him heated and riled up, and, like, it like really upset the kid, and it was like a year ago. So whenever we have anybody like that puts like their family members on now, like I keep it very mellow and I keep it very respectful because I don't want to put the kid in the bad spot. But let's go to move on to the next guest, guys. If you're watching the stream and you support Trump and you'd like to come up here and have a conversation, let me know down below in that chat by dropping a MAGA with your age. We'll happily get you up here. Hello, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Dude, you're like 12. Fucking get out of here, kid. Dude, yeah. We're going to go to get that next guest up in here. Everyone, just give us a minute. In the meantime, folks, there's a handful of people I'd like to thank. First and foremost, Claire. Thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal, Claire. While we're working on getting this next Trump supporter loaded in, thank you, Claire. Everybody spam W Claire down below. And also, I appreciate the message there in the line from your favorite poet. Thank you so much. You were awesome. Okay, don't know what's going on there. Actually, no, Claire says, hey, Dean, I love what you do. I was wondering if you could give me some music recommendations. Sure, I'll give you one big one right now. Backseat Lovers. They've been my favorite band for a handful of years, but I've been listening to them a whole lot more again because I'm going to one of their concerts in October. The Backseat Lovers is where it's at. But let's go to get that next guest up in here, Claire. Once again, thank you for the $50. As well as Kristen, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal, saying you haven't read my message out loud. I'm a huge fan and love most of your content. I agree with you all, but one thing, your stance on Israel confuses me. I mean, I don't think that my stance on Israel is too confusing. It's pretty common sense. They're doing a lot of bad things. Now even Germany's stepped out from supporting them. Welcome in, Sunglass Man. Do you support Trump?
Yup.
Okay, how old are you?
18.
Cool. All right. Real quick, before we hop into our conversation, Caleb, Lily, and Lori, I appreciate all three of you guys for the $5. You guys are awesome. And then one more person here, super duper quickly, Mika with the $50 over on Venmo. Thank you, Mika. Let's show some love to Mika down below. Mika says, love the stream and keep up the great work. Thank you so much for the love, Mika. If you're watching and you want to support me like Mika, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, in the link tree in the bio of my TikTok account. Right there on the account page, I get 100% of the proceeds over there. They go straight to me. And you get a notification at the top of my phone where I could read out your name and any and all attached messages to thank you and show you some love. Now, I'm going to let you take it away, Mr. Sunglass Man. Why the hell do you support Trump?
I like how strict he is on his border policies.
Really? Okay. What is your favorite Donald Trump border policy? I want you to be specific.
I forgot the name. It's like, hold on. When illegal immigrants come into the country, even if they don't have a criminal record, they still gotta get deported.
Oh, so it's just the policy of mass deportation. Okay.
Yeah.
How is our country made better by mass deportation?
So, if the immigrants, even if they don't have a criminal record, you don't know what they could be doing. So,
You don't know what they could be doing? Actually, we do.
Like-
We know that they work. We know that they're more likely to actively participate in the labor force. We know that they provide 1.1 trill through 1.7 trill to our GDP per year. We know that they pay $100 billion per year in taxes. And we know that they're significantly less likely to commit any and all crimes than citizens. So we do know what they're doing, yeah.
Okay, how do you know that they commit less crimes than citizens?
Yeah, because of FBI crime stats and then a PNAS analysis of said FBI crime stats that has been ongoing since the 19th century, determining what percentage of violent crimes they would account for alongside what their proportionate arrest and conviction rates are when compared to citizens.
Well, yeah, wouldn't that make sense though? If there's way less illegal immigrants than citizens.
I don't think that you're 18. Just if you're a kid, like this one's fine. Just tell me that you're a kid. I'm gonna kick you. But this is definitely data that you are a minor because we're talking about statistics here. We account for the fact that they would represent a larger portion of the overall populace. I feel like this is something that you learn in high school, and maybe you just haven't been through that class yet. Just be honest.
Yeah, not gonna lie, bro. I'm 13, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you just haven't hit that part of the curriculum yet. You hasn't hit that part of the curriculum yet. Don't lie about your age, bro. Please don't. Please don't lie about your age. We're going to move on to the next guest. Homie literally hasn't hit that part of like the math curriculum yet. So that's why he didn't understand, didn't understand the concept. Let's move on to the next guest, everybody. 13 is crazy, bro. Sandra, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo saying, that last guest was in a cult and it's sad because it takes forever to help brainwash people. Bro, I know it is so sad. Thank you for the $20, Condra. And then Lindsay with the $25. Thank you so much for the love. And also, thank you for the information, Lindsay. You are awesome. Show some love to Sandra and Lindsay down below in that chat, everybody. Show some love to Sandra and Lindsay down below in that chat. Tucker, my man, welcome in. I'm going to go and send you that invite to unmute. How are we doing today, Mr. Tucker?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm just doing great, man. I'm looking at your truck. That's a cool ass truck, bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to know why you vape.
Oh yeah, it's actually not a vape, quite frankly, buddy. It's an anxiety pin. Get it right. Now, why do you support Trump? You're obviously MAGA. Don't run from the question. Why do you support Trump?
I just didn't want to debate. I just felt like asking. I just want to know why you vape.
Oh, come on, but a debate would be fun. Like, obviously, you're MAGA. Your name is fucking Tucker, and you drive a lifted F250.
It's a 350.
350. I was almost there. I was pretty close. Okay, give me some credit. Your name is Tucker, and you drive a lifted F350. You support Trump. Why is that?
I just don't like Biden.
Okay, all right. Biden didn't run for the presidency, Tucker.
I don't like Kamala either.
Kamala. Okay.
Can you tell me why you think Kamala is better than Trump?
Kamala. Would have told you that like 7 months ago, man. I don't know if it's super relevant anymore, but I guess we could move on to the next guest because he left. Okay, I guess we could move on to the next guest because Tucker left. Let's go to get our next guest, John Davidson, up in here, y'all. Lauren, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, saying thank you for your persistence. Talking to these people is mind-numbing, and it definitely can be a points, thank you. Alongside Ellie with a 5 and Naomi with a 10. Thank you, Naomi. What the fuck?
Shit.
We're going to move on to the next guest, but Naomi, thank you for the $10. I think that person's come up like a handful of times before. They've been doing that shit for like about a year and a half now. we're gonna move on to the next guest, Sean, right now, everybody. Okay, all right, here we go. We got the next guest loading up in. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Hello, Dean.
Hi. Do you support Trump?
I do. I'm all the way from Scotland, and I support Trump.
Oh, very nice. Well, we actually are only talking to people that are Americans, so goodbye. Have a great rest of your day, my man. Let's go and see what that next guest has to say, everybody. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. And also, yo, Monica! Thank you so much for the $50 donation on PayPal. Monica, that is so kind of you. Holy crap, that is Monica spelled Monika. Monica says thank you. Well, you know what, Monica? Thank you. I appreciate you for the love. $50 is a shit ton of money. Thank you so much, Monica. You are awesome. And welcome in, Steve. Are you MAGA?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, Steve, you really shouldn't be. He sucks.
Okay. So go ahead.
Do you want me to tell you like one reason why I think he sucks?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
He sucks because he's attempted to circumvent the Constitution that he has no respect for, that he's explicitly called for the termination of, and as past EOs that like take our individual liberties, rights, and freedoms away from us, even some of those that have been guaranteed by the Constitution explicitly, such as birthright citizenship.
Okay. Is there a system that will go through? That they'll decide who is right and who's wrong?
Have you been able to find my address yet?
Okay. Can you answer my question and not deflect?
Have you?
I'm not gonna play your game. Are you gonna answer my question like an adult, or are you gonna try to distract people?
I know your voice too well. Just changing your name or getting a new account won't convince
Dude, you have no clue of who I am, where I live. I've never seen your face before, and just because I've been sitting here for the last hour, like analyzing you, your speech, the way you talk, the fallacies that you use, the insulting people, the controlling issues. I can't believe here, because I'm actually really new to TikTok. I've only been on it for probably a couple hours, that you're actually making money off this.
You can't believe that people support me for being a knight of the truth, for
Being
fighting for what's right.
being a completely total disingenuous person.
Steve, if I didn't know any better,
Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you explain to me this?
Just quickly.
How does illegal immigration help the country?
Oh, I will happily tell you how undocumented immigrants contribute to America. But before I do, you just talked about the fact that people support me. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you sound jealous.
Bro, I don't need to go on TikTok and use my narcissistic abilities as a covert narcissist to manipulate people and get them to give me money.
Oh wait, so
this is no different than
manipulate
someone.
people?
Well, yeah, you use fallacies to validate your points.
Okay, let's just do a quick
And that's
examination of that.
disingenuous.
So
That's
Alessandra,
dishonest.
Alessandra just donated me $25 on PayPal. Everybody, show some love to Alessandra down below in that chat. Alessandra accompanied this $25 donation with a message. I just wanted to send some love your way. Have an amazing day. Do you think that Alessandra is a victim of my manipulation?
Yes.
Oh, really? So she's a victim? So why don't you give her her $25 back? I'm too evil to do it. Why don't you personally do it yourself? Would you like me to give you her PayPal personally?
Because I don't care if you have people that are dumb enough to follow you.
Wait, but I thought that, don't you care about victims? Like she's a
Okay,
victim of a
what-
scam.
what-
Like $25 isn't too
Here
much
we
money.
go.
Why don't you help pay her back?
This is a fallacy you're presenting right now.
Well, yeah, what do you know? What
False-
isn't a
false
fallacy?
equi- it's
You know what
called-
isn't a
it's
fallacy?
called-
The $5 that Aaron just donated to me over on PayPal, saying, "Oh no, I got manipulated by Deem," as well as Martina with the $13 over on PayPal. I appreciate that, Aaron and Martina. And then
Yeah,
Purdy, thank you for the $50 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Purdy. Let's get 500 Purdy W's down below, alongside 150 W's for Skylar for the $15, and Hannah, thank you so much for the 10. Caitlin with a 5 over on Venmo, and then another Haley with a $10 over on Venmo, accompanied by the message, "Manipulate me, Dean." You know what? If you're watching right now and you would like to be manipulated by me personally, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio and TikTok, as well as it's in the pin message over on that YouTube stream. We have a couple other victims of manipulation. Jasmine, I manipulated you for the $5 on PayPal. Thank you. Emily, thank you for the $45 on Venmo, saying you just manipulated me, Dean. Holy shit, the manipulation is working. Let's show some love to Emily in the chat. And then Muzzy with the $5 over on Venmo for being manipulated. Sid, thank you for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat for being manipulated. Thank you for letting me manipulate you, Sid. Tiffany with the $3. Thank you so much for the love, Tiffany, with the $30 over on Venmo for letting me manipulate you. Thank you so much for the love, Tiffany. Claire with the $10 for being manipulated. Thank you, Claire. Zebra with a 20 over on YouTube Super Chat for cooking us daily and feeding our souls. I'm going to add on and manipulating you. Thank you so much for the love. And then Alessandra with a $5 over on PayPal and Noel with a 2. I appreciate everyone so much for letting me manipulate you. It just fills my soul. Thank you, Alyssa, $2. You know, guess what, Alyssa? Fucking manipulated. Get cooked. Alyssa just got fucking manipulated. Oh, Skylar, $10 saying indoctrinate me already. You know what, Skylar? You're already in the cult. You don't even know it. Thank you for letting me manipulate you. Kyle with the $15 on PayPal. Thank you. And Christopher with the $6 and the 66 cents. Because I'm too busy manipulating people. I'm too busy.
Hypomania.
No, I'm too busy manipulating people.
Yeah, that's
Pipe
called
down, kid.
hypomania.
Galena, thank you for the $50 over on
overinflated
PayPal. Say thank you for
self-
manipulating me.
self-importance.
Galena, thank you for letting me manipulate you. Thank you for the $50. Darlene with the $5 over on Venmo for the manipulation. Eleanor with the $5 on Venmo for the manipulation. Jacob with the $5 on Venmo for the manipulation. Eduardo with the 5 on PayPal for being manipulated. Natasha with the 5 on PayPal being manipulated. Jacob with the 5 on Venmo for being manipulated. Holy shit. Steven with a 20 over on YouTube Super Chat for being manipulated. Lasari with a 3 on PayPal for the same thing. And then Dia with a 10 on YouTube for being manipulated. And then Amy with a $10 over on Venmo for letting me manipulate you. Thank you so much for the love, Amy. Dude, it just keeps on going. Too much mascara with the $5 on PayPal for letting me manipulate you.
That's why you're so ecstatic. I'm the best thing that you've run into since you started your little TikTok thing. Because the real people see you exactly for what you are now. Enjoy the money, kid. Money is the corrupter of all men. I love it.
Dude, I'm gonna enjoy the $50 that Julia just sent me over on YouTube for the brainwashing so much. Thank you for the $50, Julia. Everybody show some love to Julia down below. Carolina with the 5 over on PayPal. Miramond with the 2. And then Dark with the 20 Canadian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat for letting me manipulate you. Thank you so much, Dark. Let's go. Joey the $2 over on PayPal. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm done. Actually, I'm not done because we also got $2 over on Venmo from Vanessa. Thank you so much for the love, Vanessa. I really appreciate you so much for the love.
Wow. Taking somebody's $2.
Okay, well, what about Cash with the $20 over on PayPal for the
Bragging
manipulation?
about
Thank you for letting me manipulate you, Cash. Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal.
Dude, you don't get it, okay? You're part of the 20%. Okay? Enjoy your delusions, okay?
You know what? I'm gonna enjoy.
We will pray for you.
Did you just drop a glass?
No, my cat just knocked something off the counter.
W-Cat! Let's get some W-Cats in the chat! W-Cats in the chat! Everybody spam W-Cats in the chat! Oh my god! Let's also spam some W-Zombies for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat for the manipulation.
Are you okay?
Zombie. M with a $50 over on YouTube Super Chat for being manipulated. Dorinda for the $20 over on PayPal for being manipulated. Kendra with the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat saying brainwash me, teen. Thank you guys so much for the love, as well as Jennifer for the $5 over on Venmo for letting me manipulate you. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Andrew with the $7 on PayPal for letting me manipulate you. Thank you, Andrew. As well as guests, make sure you don't step on that glass. You know, just be careful, man. Make sure you put some shoes on.
My housekeeper's taking care of it.
You shouldn't call your partner that. That's pretty mean.
That's a person that comes to my house every day. Person varies. That's here to clean for 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, I thought about that before I said that, but I don't think that that's true, because if like you were well off enough to pay for a housekeeper, you wouldn't be like moaning about some 20-year-old getting donations on a fucking app.
Being repulsed by someone like you is not something that I'm going to take time to speak out about. Somebody that's distorting facts, deluding people, manipulating them, lying to them, distorting things, using false equivalencies.
Okay.
The poison well.
Yeah.
You're going to look, you don't understand, bro. You're a mental illness. And I'm enjoying watching this because I'm going to use it in my class.
Okay. Michael, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying that this guy sounds like Rumpelstiltskin
Again.
from the Shrek movie. Dude, absolutely, Michael.
Here,
Yo,
when
Energize, thank you for the
when
$20 over on
somebody
YouTube
uses
Super Chat as well.
personal insults,
No message as well. I
okay,
appreciate you for the love.
They're expressing their feelings,
Yeah,
not their intelligence.
Yeah, Michael cooked your ass. All right, okay, Michael cooked. Ellie, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal, saying consider me brainwashed.
And
Thank you for the love,
again,
Ellie.
trying to
Brandon with a
auctioneer.
$50 over on PayPal, saying Dean, manipulative behavior will not be accepted. Well, apparently I manipulated you. Thank you for the $50, Brandon. Baze, show some love to Brandon down below. Holy crap. Dolores with the $5. Everett with the $5 over on Venmo. I appreciate you guys for the love.
For your little rally to end.
Gib with the 20 Canadian
wonder how
dollars
many
over on
people
YouTube
can
Super
ask
Chat.
for a
Thank you for the love. Victoria with the $50 over on Venmo for letting me manipulate you. Thank you, Victoria. Show some love to Give and Victoria down below in that comment section. Sherry
that
with the
repeat
$25 over on Venmo for letting me
over
manipulate
and
you.
over
Thank you,
and
Sherry.
over.
Jacob with the $10 over on Venmo as well for being manipulated, saying, help, I'm being manipulated. Thank you for the love, Jacob. Alex with the 69 cents. Alyssa with the $15 over on PayPal, saying, love you too, Alyssa. Thank you for the 15. Astro with the $2 over on PayPal. Madison with the $20 over on PayPal, saying thank you for letting me manipulate you. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much, Madison. Let's go, Madison. Thank you for the $20. Holy based. Yo, Michael with the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying that I'm your favorite mental illness. Let's go, Michael. Thank you for the $50. Another Michelle, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, and Hannah with the $5 as well. And then Libby with the $50 over on Venmo. Dude, what is going on? It's never gone on this long. Libby says this guy is delusional, but I might be too because you were the first person to manipulate me. Let's go, Libby. Thank you for the $50. Then Tip with the $5 over on Venmo for letting me manipulate you. I'm actually, it's crazy that it's still going. This is fucking insane. Noel with the dollar. Madison with the $20. Thank you for the love, Madison. Lewis with the $5 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. How the fuck is it still going, dude? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. I just manipulated a couple hundred people. How are you
What
feeling?
are they going to do when I tell them that you and I cooked this all up to get you to give them people to give you money, bro?
That is the perfect strategy. That is exactly what you should do. I'm actually proud of you. If you want to be the most hateful, harmful, stupid MFer ever, that is exactly what you would say right now. Actually, double you to you for thinking on your feet. Demetrios, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love.
Dude,
Angelic,
this
thank you
is
for the
why we
$10
set
over on
you
YouTube Super
up.
Chat. I appreciate you
We
for the
let
love.
you
Kristen
think.
for the
We let
$10
you
over on Venmo. I
think we were
appreciate
your
you for the love.
buddies.
Dude, you were
You're
coping
just
so
a
card.
fraud. You're scamming everybody because we set this up with you.
I have a question. If I set this up with
You're
you,
a scam.
I have a question. If I set this up with you, then why would you say it's a setup? Anna, thank you for the $2 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. 32 with the $20 over on YouTube. Say love you, bro. I love you too. 32. Thank you for the $20. Ben, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal as well. Oh my goodness gracious, dude. Phil with the $20 over on YouTube. Super chat saying thanks for cooking this up, dude. Thank you for the love, Phil. Let's go, Phil. All right, dude. We need to get back into the debate. This is literally insane. This has been going on for like 10, 15 minutes now. I can't even believe that it's still going. I appreciate everyone.
We're the best thing that ever happened to you, boy.
Rio with the $10 over on PayPal saying I'm feeling so manipulated. Help. Thank you, Rio. No, isn't it absolutely fucking hilarious that when you come up here trying to hate on me,
That you, some little smart ass kid that's collecting $2 and $5 instead of somebody buying blunts, okay? And you consider that as some form of validation that for some reason that you're this influential, credible, respectable person. And look how you go off about $2. You're humiliating yourself and your career will be short-lived, bro, because there's not just me out there. There's lots of other people.
Kendra, thank you.
Your money will dry up. You'll get turned into the IRS. PayPal will find out what you're doing. All those things will happen to you. Okay? It's inevitable. When a narcissist goes out into public like you are, it's inevitable you're going to get caught. That's what I'm going to teach my students in the next class. That's the music that you play when you get the air let out of your sails. Good job. You're so predictable.
Dean, your career will be short-lived. You make me so sad, Dean. You're such a narcissist. Dean. I present to you my 55-year-old white man tears. Dean! Your career will be short-lived. You will be a nobody. The money will dry up. Nobody respects you. Dean! That's what you sound like right now, little bro.
As soon as Trump is gone, so is your career. So are you, loser. That's what you don't get. You're here for time and for a limited amount of time, because when Trump's gone, nobody's gonna care about Dean because Trump doesn't live in his head.
Okay. So you know what?
That's where he lives, in your head.
If my career
Every day you spend thinking, Trump, how can I make money off of these dumbasses that hate Trump? How can I monetize it?
He just keeps going. And it's only causing more donations. I'm going to be honest.
I get it. That's what my whole point is that I'm going to show the class.
Jaden, thank you for the $5 over on them. I appreciate you for the love. Higgs with the $5 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you. Blueberry, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I appreciate you. Oh, you want to know who's actually the culmination of the corrupt, godless nature of humankind? Fucking Donald Trump, the man that claims to be a Christian, but is now redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich while also having a grape case under his belt, alongside being on the Epstein files, hitting on minors, and trying to bar all new Muslims from coming into a country, when the gospel specifically fought against everything that I just described. Now, why are you making those noises?
Okay, well, again, I don't think anybody that talks to people like you do should have anything to do when you're talking about God.
Crystal, thank you for the $25 over on Venmo, saying I've fallen victim to manipulation. Get pushed. Thank you for the love, Crystal.
We pray
Nick with the
for
2,
poor
Matt with the
souls
5,
like
Jed with the
you.
5. Oh, really? So you're a
Because
Christian?
you know inside your heart that there is nothing
So you're a Christian?
without the attention you get from other people. Without that, you'd be gone.
Okay.
You'd vanish. You'd
Really?
shrink into obscureness.
Did you know
because
what? Can I
when
tell you
Trump
something?
is gone, you're gonna be gone.
Can I tell
But
you
guess
something
what?
that I did before
I'll
Trump was
still
here?
be here.
Can I tell you something that I did before I even had a single follower on social media?
I could care less what you did because you could be lying, bro. Because the way
I won 2 international awards for website design and development. Back-to-back years.
okay, it's like this, bro.
Michael, thank you for the $50. Yo, Paul, thank you so much for the $100 over on YouTube Super Chat. Yo, let's
That's a
go,
lie.
Paul.
Show a screenshot, bro.
Wait, show you a screenshot of what Paul just donated?
No, the $100 you just got.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually publicly available on YouTube, and I'll go ahead and screenshot it and throw it up on the YouTube on the TikTok live stream, literally right now. I don't know why you'd ever request such a silly thing. I think that he's really getting heated. So let's go ahead and throw that up on live stream right now. Everybody, show some love to Paul right now. It's literally just so unbelievable to his tiny brain that people actually support what we do here enough to literally donate $100 that he just doesn't even think it's real.
$100
Yeah,
is nothing.
there's Paul's donation. Paul, thank you so much for the $100. Saying, heard you were gonna go away soon. Gotta donate while I can. Thank you for the $100, Paul. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you, Paul, as well as Coral with the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, I literally listened to you talk about any topic. I just can't wait till Trump isn't an issue anymore. Yeah, I know. This is what I was gonna say before the loser.
Yeah, as soon as
interrupted me.
Trump's not an issue, you become irrelevant. Look at what your whole thing is. The word Trump.
Obviously, you haven't been following me for too long.
Dude, I don't care. Okay? People can be canceled. People can be exposed.
Chad, thank you for the
People
$10 over on Venmo. Amanda, thank you for the
People can be
$6
turned
for the
into the
$66 over on
IRS.
Venmo. Amanda says Church of Dean. Yo, that's crazy. Appreciate you for the $66, Amanda. That's crazy though. That's crazy though. Thank you
then
so much for the love. Then Cara with a
And
10,
this is
Bird with a
not-
10, John with a 5, Gracie with a 5, Maya with a 5, and Samantha with a 5. I appreciate y'all for the love. Hey, I want to re-reference something that you said
You
earlier.
appreciate the love from little kids that can only donate you $5.
My average viewer is actually around
Didn't you
25
just
to
say
35.
18, 19, 20-year-olds?
Karen, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo saying I've been manipulated. How old do you think I am?
Who cares?
I'm fucking 20.
Who
You said,
cares?
oh, you're taking 20-year-olds' money. They're little kids. Bro, I'm 20. Dude, pipe down. Now, earlier you said that you were a good Christian that likes to pray.
Go pipe yourself down, homie.
What a weird
Don't tell me
statement.
what to do. You're not going to try to control and dominate me. You're a
Wow.
narcissist.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Oh, hey, we're not.
No.
So you're telling me to pipe myself down instead of dominating you?
You better pipe down. You better pipe down.
I should pipe myself down instead of dominating you, bro. Steve, what are you
Yeah,
getting
how
at
about
here?
maybe you
What
got
are you
somebody that can pipe you down.
What are you getting at here? What are you getting at here, Steve? No, listen, you said that you were a good Christian earlier. You're a good Christian, really? So name 10 Bible books.
Okay. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Revelations, Exodus, Genesis, Timothy 1st, Timothy 2nd, Peter. What else you want to talk about?
You were almost
Come
there.
on.
You almost did it. You almost did it, sir. You almost did it.
Oh, now this was all a pre-calculated thing out to determine how many books I know.
Okay, well, actually, you said that you're a Christian. What year did the Great Schism happen?
What year did who happen?
The Great Schism, where the Orthodox split from the Catholic Church.
Okay, that was like in what, 600
Wrong! Only a dumbass wouldn't be able to answer that question. It happened in 1054 AD.
Are you an Orthodox Christian?
Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta stop.
Just because you know something.
I gotta stop. Dude, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a rage bait chat. That was rage bait chat. That was rage bait.
Dude, you're full of hate.
Dude, no, I'm having fun.
That's how you can sit in front of a camera clicking buttons, collecting money $2 and $5 at a time.
Oh, what about Parker with his $20
That's all
donation?
you
Parker,
have.
Parker
What
just
else do you
donated
have? What else
$20
do you
over on Venmo,
offer?
saying I'll listen to you every day when Trump is gone. Let's go, Parker. As well as Ken with the $10 over on Venmo, saying that the cat's a liberal. Hell yeah, the cat's a liberal. Beth with the $10 too, saying thanks for the manipulation. Check out 2 Timothy 3:1-9. Sounds
Blah,
like MAGA.
blah,
Appreciate you for the
blah,
love.
blah,
Whoa,
blah,
you just blah blah blah
blah,
a Bible verse?
blah, blah.
Oh my God, you're a fucking devil worshiper, aren't you? aren't you? You're a wolf in sheep's clothing. You came up here to try to preach the word of the gospel. But then when Beth donates $10 and includes 2 Timothy 3:1-9, and I start reading that off, you go blah 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 blah. No, you're a devil worshiper. He's a devil worshiper. He's a devil worshiper, chat.
You're a reprobate.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. That's because you are one, and you don't think you are because you don't know what it is. God forgive the sinner.
Well, what is it?
God forgive. It's someone that thinks that what they're doing is somehow ordained by God.
I don't even...
You don't even understand what God is. That's why you're a reprobate. He doesn't know you.
Wait, I thought God was
He
all-knowing.
doesn't know you.
Buddy,
You're
I thought God was all-knowing.
reprobate.
Oh, I get dunked on. I thought God was all-knowing.
That's why you don't know the word, because
you just
it means you're fucking evil.
Wait. So you're telling me that God is all-knowing but doesn't know me?
Do you know his son, Jesus Christ?
Oh, you just committed blasphemy, sir. You're now a heretic because you just denied the omnipotent property of our God, okay? No, our God is perfect, all-knowing, all-powerful, and all good. And the moment these fake Christians come up into the stream and start denying these essential attributes and properties of God is the moment that you start committing blasphemy, that you become a heretic. And quite fucking frankly, okay, there's no room for heresy in this life, okay, sir? I will not have you denying the perfection and the all-knowing goodness of my God.
You're the devil, leading the masses into hell. If you don't know Jesus Christ, you don't know God. Accept it.
Okay, I have a question.
You are a reprobate, young man.
Okay, listen. So
God will never ever
me.
hear you and tell you confess and repent.
Amanda, thank you for the $6 over on Venmo.
And live your empty, meaningless life wrapped around your television screen and your keyboard.
Okay. So
have a nice day.
Don't leave yet.
We're gonna go load up and head to the airport and jump in our plane.
Samantha, thank you for the $10 over on
Harris
PayPal. I
Ranch
appreciate
for
you for
lunch. While you sit there collecting your $2, reprobate.
Okay, you called me the devil. Why have you been talking to the devil for
You're
the last 30
a
minutes?
fucking evil fucking person. You don't know God.
What kind of good Christian?
You're not from God. You've been disowned.
Yo, just real quick. What kind of good Christian is going to talk to the devil for 30 minutes?
What kind of good Christian is going to call out the sinner as he's collecting the money?
Sean, thank you for the $14 over on YouTube chat. Give me.
Here's your $2.
Money. Donnie with the $5 over on Venmo. Money. Yo, Libby, thank you for the $100 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Libby. With the $100, and I need a devil in my life. Thank you for the love, Libby, with the $100. Thank you so much, everybody. Show some love to
I
Libby.
hunt the big fish to save the big fish, not the little one, sinner.
Okay.
Repent.
Okay, how should I repent?
Talk to God.
Okay, what do I say?
Seek his counsel.
God, I'm seeking your counsel. What next?
Have a nice day. When you're serious, send me a message.
Wait, you want
reprobate?
You want the devil to message you? Yo, bro, come on.
Hey, people of Christ, don't shun or not talk to the sinners.
Oh, okay.
They sit down and have dinner with them.
Oh, they sit
and try to counsel and witness to them.
They sit down and have dinner with people that they disagree with. So then, how come Donald Trump tried to implement a ban on all new Muslims coming into this country in 2015? Does that mean does that mean that Trump isn't a man of Christ because he didn't want to sit down with people that he disagreed with?
God.
Which was added to the Pledge of Allegiance in the 1960s.
You don't have a God. You're a reprobate.
Robert, thank you for the $4 over on YouTube Super Chat. Steven with the 20 saying that you manipulated me too, Dean. I appreciate you with the love, Steven. Laura with the 10 pounds. Thank you so much for the love. All right, anything else? Sinner?
Yeah, I am a sinner, bro. I sin every day.
Yeah, bro.
But I don't go out there and mislead people. All to support my cause, which right there, which is exactly what you've been doing for the last hour.
Let's be clear.
Is making money off of
dude,
creating
okay, now, okay, I'm
a
kind of
bunch of
okay,
shit
that's kind of boring. That's
to
kind of boring now.
monetize.
That's kind of
Then
boring
I
now. Just
don't-
stop
you don't
talking
tell
about the
me
money.
what to talk about or anything.
Bro,
This
it's
is-
just going to
this
cause
is
more
all-
people to donate to me. Just
This
stop
is
it.
all in your face. You're a reprobate.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That guy's over the rails. We're going to go and move on, chat. Amy, thank you so much for the $6 and the 66 cents over on Venmo. Michael with the $2. Lindsay with the 5. Charlie with the 5. Robert with the 5. Chat, we received so many donations in like the last 30 minutes because that guy was hell-bent on doing nothing but talking about my donations for the last 30 minutes. I, want to say thank you to every single one of you guys that supported us. And B, if there's any donation or person that I missed, I apologize. I literally tried to get around to every single one of them. There was literally just so many. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. That guy was literally insane. Dude, I don't know if we've had a guest that crazy on in a while. Dude, unreal. I'd also like to quickly thank Tava with the $5 over on Venmo, Kavlin with a 2. And Guardy, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that. I love Guardy. Saying we admire you and all that you do. You're incredible. You repubate. I've never even heard that word repubate before. Let's go to move on to the next guest. What a nut, dude. What a nut, man. What an interesting little conversation we had there. Let's go to load up the next Trump supporter. Keep in mind that we still are only looking to talk to Trump supporters up in the live right now. So if you're trying to join, just make sure that you're MAGA. But we got the next guest loading in right now. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 35. No, 36. Sorry, I forgot my age. Just had a birthday.
Very nice, very nice. Taco Bell Wi-Fi. Appreciate you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat saying in your face. Appreciate you for the love, Taco Bell. All right, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Because I have to pay taxes.
Okay, I have to pay taxes.
And he's the president.
Why does this make you support Trump?
Yes. Because the people who support him and get all of his policies passed are paid by our taxes, aren't they? Isn't that where an income tax goes?
Like a part of
the
it
place.
goes to pay the salary of the president and Congress, sure. What does this have to do with why you support Trump as president?
Because that's just how it works. I mean, that is how people, I mean, what do you mean? But I guess it's a different definition of support.
Are you MAGA?
Yes.
Okay, why are you MAGA? Why do you think he's doing good as the president?
You're right. I don't. You caught me. I'm lying.
You know, I gotta say, I don't know why. Like, out of like all like the trolls, that specific position is one that like upsets me the most. Like, annoys me the most. It's like, I support Trump because he's the president and I support all presidents. That specifically is gonna make me go bald by 25, Chad, okay? Welcome in, Ashland. Do you support Trump? Oh, they left. All right, we're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. We got the next guest loaded up in, guys. What a day, guys. Yo, Kai, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal saying all hail the Dean cult. Yes, me and all my repubates. I should probably stop saying that word until I actually learn what it means. Imagine if it's like a super derogatory word. And like, I just have no fucking clue. So I'm gonna stop saying that word until I learn. Thank you so much for the love, Kai, as well as Z. Thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, "Am I Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah?" I didn't watch Love Island, so I don't know anything about them. Welcome in, sexist. Do you support Trump?
Why do you rape? I'm just asking.
What?
Isn't that anxiety pen?
Yeah. Do you support Trump?
No, but I'm asking you.
Wait, Chad, is it not from Love Island? Okay, where's Jeremiah and Conrad from? I thought that those were people on Love Island. Did I just get cooked? Did I just like publicly embarrass myself in front of like 13,000 people? Fuck, dude. Rough day out here. Okay, where's it from? Where are they from? Okay, y'all gotta correct me. Y'all gotta correct me here. Yo, Christian, thank you for the $5 over on Vim. I appreciate you for that love. Uh-oh. Jesus Christ, guys. The summer I turned pretty. I don't even know what that is. Everybody but me knows. Dude, I feel so out of touch. It's because I spend too much time on this debate shit. You know, like while y'all are out there enjoying your time watching this summer I turned pretty, picking Team Jeremiah or Conrad, here I am talking to like drunk 75-year-old men about how they think I'm Satan. Sophie, appreciate you for the $5 over on Venmo. It means a lot to me. As well as Kate, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much. Kate just said that word means it presented to damnation. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's a pretty intense word. That guy was off his rocker. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Sarah, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Calling that last guest a DMU BMASS. Could not agree more. Quite frankly, we're gonna move on to the next guest. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? No, they're not here. Guys, everybody, take a good look if you happen to be in that queue. Make sure that you're following the rules. It's hard for us to find somebody in the queue that's actually here for debate. We got Jaden loading up in. Here we go, everybody. Yo, Annie, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat saying reprobate simply just means sinner, unprincipled person. Okay, well, I appreciate you for the love, Annie, and thank you for informing me. Show some love to Annie down below. Welcome in, Jaden. Do you support Trump? Jaden! Are you here? Quite frankly is not here. Moving on. Here we go, guys. If you want to skip that line and come right up on here, go and put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat. We'll get you up here. All right. Moving on. Tara, 24, female. We got you loaded in. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I do.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Great. Tara, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Hi. Are you MAGA?
Hello?
Hi. Do you support President Trump?
So, yeah, it's kind of complicated. So, I don't know if I'd qualify for your thing because I don't live in the US, but I was born there.
Yeah, you're a citizen.
So, I have a citizenship. So, I'm not in the US right now, but I plan on moving there next year. So, I did vote.
Yeah.
I did vote for Kamala in 2020, and then this year I wasn't going to vote for Biden because I just don't like Biden.
Okay. So do you support Trump as president or not?
Currently, I'm happy with the way it is because, like, I come from a family where my father has a U.S. passport as well, and he does support Trump, and I'm leaning more towards it because economically, I do favor his policies.
Okay, why?
Because I feel that I'm not much of a socialist. I've seen that the Democratic Party tends to favor more of a socialist
That's not true.
reform, especially it does, right?
What is
In a way.
socialism?
It's the belief that I'll have to backtrack. Okay, socialism is the belief that sorry, I'm kind of blanking out.
It's just it's a mode of production.
Yeah.
It's just where basically like
Mode of
democracy in the workplace, the workers own the means of production. A private property ownership over the means of production would be illegal. They're owned by the workers. That's not something that is endorsed by the Democratic Party now.
But isn't that what I was following the New York primary because I do plan on moving there. And I really don't agree with what Zoran has.
Oh, Zoran, yeah, he's a Democratic socialist based, but he doesn't speak for the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party funded billions of dollars to fund candidates that ran against him. But this has nothing to do with why you support Trump.
I think it also comes from the fact that I don't support Kamala at all. So when it changed to Kamala and not Biden, I realized that.
Dude, okay, please. I need a response. Why do you support Trump? Please. I'm sorry for being tough on you. I need an answer, please.
Okay, economically speaking, I do have some notes that I did write down that I can pull up. So, if you do look at his the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act from 2017, is that the one? Yeah, I think that's the one. He did say that it does give lower income. It does lower personal taxes, right?
Okay. So you support lowering taxes for the average American?
Yes, because I will be coming there to work.
Yeah, the average American will now be paying a higher effective tax rate under the big, beautiful bill that he passed a month ago. You can read the studies done by the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities that indicate that because of all of the cuts in the bill, it will be reducing the purchasing power of the average American making at or beneath $51,000 per year, alongside ripping 10 million people off of healthcare and 3 million people off of food stamps.
All right. No, I understand that, but I don't agree with the idea of. I do admit that he does cause a lot of he is taking a lot from the lower American. I don't know. It's just the idea that he, I don't know how to put it. Hold on, let me just read my notes again.
Okay, well, you're reading your notes real quick. Ebony, thank you for the 100 pounds over on YouTube. Super chat, I appreciate that, Ebony. That is EBONAY. Ebony says, appreciate all that you do. Keep cooking the drunk 75-year-old men. All love, bro. Well, first and foremost, thank you for the $100. That is 100 pounds, to be more specific. That is so much money. Thank you so much, Ebony. You are awesome. Everybody, please show some love to Ebony down below in that comment section. Zayanna with a $10 says, I'm going to stop watching your content until you watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. Oh, I'll watch a trailer on YouTube or something. Chances are I won't like it. But then again, I kind of do have a soft spot for reality TV. You'd be surprised. Kate, thank you for the $15. I appreciate you for the love. Selfie with a 5, Sarah with a 5, and Michaela with a 5. Thank you so much. Alongside Robert with a $10 saying, I'm 70 years old and I watch all the time. These dipshits can what did Robert say? All of these dipshits can kiss my ass, bro. Robert, I love you. You're an icon. I want to be just like you when I'm 70. Show some love to Robert. Courtney with a 5. Dude, I literally love Robert so much. Courtney with a 5. Thank you so much. And then the same Robert, Mr. 70-year-old Robert with another $20 donation saying you don't want to know what the summer I turned pretty is. Okay. 70-year-old Robert says that I don't want to know what the summer I turned pretty is. Should I trust Robert, everybody? Thank you for the love, Robert. You're awesome. Now anyways, back to you.
Hey, so I'm reading some of the comments, and it does say that like she supports him because of her dad. And yeah, I feel like a lot of it is biased because of the conversations I do have with him, because I did vote for Biden in the 2020, but I was obviously I'm still an overseas voter. And what I did see is there wasn't much change that I did see. I did see a lot of his policies fall through. And I feel like
How about this? I feel like a better position for you to be is just like watching live and maybe listening to what I have to say, what guests have to say before like coming up here and debating. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I feel like now's a good point for you to like do your research compared to like trying to debate these things. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to stigmatize that at all.
Okay, yeah. And I really appreciate how respectful you are.
I appreciate you for being respectful as well. You have a good rest of your day. Now back to you, David. Why the hell do you support the Orange Menace? Take it away. I accidentally just muted you. Go ahead. Sorry. Try to unmute you, but you unmuted yourself a microsecond before I did so. So I muted you. Go ahead. Why do you support Trump?
I just have a really quick question. What mic do you use?
Sure, SM7B. So why do you support Trump?
I don't. I'm really sorry for breaking your rules. I just wanted.
Banned. Sid, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube saying I will refuse to retry to watch Dexter until you watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you for the $20, Sid. You were awesome. Everybody show some love to Sid down below. Thank you, Sid. Now, for everybody watching over on TikTok, we've collected like 1 billion flags in like the last hour. Like when we were talking to Steven, dude, we got like 10. In fact, I think that we even have a restriction on the live, so it's not sending out to the For You page. We have to restart. Because of all the flags. We got to be looking out for the safety of the live here. It's restart time, unfortunately. If you've never been here before, if you've never been active during a restart, well, basically once or twice a day, we have to restart the live stream for the health of the live stream. If we don't do these restarts, then I lose access to the account and I get banned. I hate it, but it's necessary to do. Before I started doing these restarts, I would be on a different account nearly every day because of the bans. Since I've been doing the restarts, we haven't been banned for a month, so obviously they're working. But quickly, if you want to come back to the stream after the restart, because we have another hour and a half here, so it'll be super quick, and then we'll have a bunch of other debates. All you got to do is, right now, hit that follow button. It's going to be in the top left-hand corner, around right there on your phone screen. Just so you kind of have that as like a safety net, so if you fail to follow the steps to come back in here right as we restart, you'll find me in your following list. Now, after you've hit that following button, the way that you could find me even quicker is when the stream ends, you'll see my profile picture pop up in the middle of the phone screen. It'll say like live ended, follow the host. Click on that profile picture. You'll be directed to my account page. Count to 10, restart, count to 10, refresh my account page, then click right back into the live, and you'll be back here. Hopefully, we could get around 7,000 of y'all to come back. I like to aim for a 70% retention rate, and we're close to 10,000 viewers, so let's try to do that. The restart will literally take 5 seconds. It's super